Alrighty, welcome everybody to another Monday, and what a Monday it is. Great weekend, very interesting stuff, and I'd just like to say a great morning, afternoon, or evening to everyone out there for joining us today on this Monday. Quick shout out to the community. We've got Siddharth, Dave, Valdo, Valerie, Johnny Bravo as always as well, Daniel, Yogendra, great to have you all here today. I know what Yogendra is going to ask me. He's going to ask me about that Bank Nifty. But to get started, big turnaround in the market, specifically the silver squeeze. We'll put it in the inverted commas, the silver squeeze. There's been a bit of backlash here from a few of the different communities, and we will be talking, of course, about silver and my thoughts on that today. 9.52% up currently on silver. Some pretty big moves. Let me just quickly reload this pen tool that I use, and then we should be ready to go. Heaps of stuff though today. We're covering, of course, the stocks into the pre-market. We're going to be covering commodities, our thoughts on that. Just in general, this kind of green wave that we're seeing into the Monday. Is it real? Is it fake? What is Wall Street doing to us? We'll have to find out. All of these types of things. I can see a few people saying stonks only go up. Absolutely. A few of the community members as well. We're now the Stonk Squad. Stonk Squad is now the new name. You'll notice I changed a few things. We've got new emoticons. I'd like to see some of those coming out for the Stonk Squad today. So please do use them. We've got new donation things. We've got everything. I reset everything over the weekend. So I put a little bit of work in. And I think 2021, as I said, there's going to be some community benefits coming very, very shortly for everybody. All right, looks like we've got our pen ready. Yep, we do. Good. This is Epic Pen, by the way. It's actually a pretty good program if you're looking at drawing and stuff and you want to draw on screens and do this type of thing. We'll highly recommend Epic Pen. Pretty good. All right, let's get started. So we've got this silver squeeze coming in, 9.52%. Now, what does that mean? 29.82 in this recording here. We're actually going to look at the technicals there. I just want to load silver up straight away because this is a monumental occurrence. Like, obviously there's been people stacking silver for a long time. My dad's one of them. He's got silver. He's got bullion. It's been sitting there. I think he bought it during the last hype train. So I just want to caution people that when you buy silver, it has big runs and then heavy busts. And I'm not sure if this time will be any different. Obviously, people want to push it to $1,000. People want to push it towards more fair value. But we do know there's some big things at play here. So let's just quickly have a look at these technicals. I want to talk about the technicals here, and I mentioned it in the video. Firstly, where has it been in the past? Well, if we go out to the monthly here, $49. And of course, this was the epic silver squeeze that basically bankrupted two brothers back here in the 80s and 70s. But $50 is this target. Now, if this is possible, let's just say we get past $50. Wow. I think that's an accomplishment in itself. That would be insane. But $50 is going to be some heavy resistance. And I think that if we do get past 30 today and close above, that's going to be incredibly significant as well. Because think about the last couple of times that silver ever got to this point. Silver underneath 30 over here. Then it did that big run up over that week, gapped into 47 and fell off. Last time it got above 30, quick run to the 50. So how important is the 30? Almost as important as 30,000 subs on this channel now. But the 30 is very, very important. Very, very important. Look at all the people we've got coming in here. So many of you out there. A lot of people obviously hyped about the market today. A lot of people talking about the diamond hands, absolutely. I like that. I love this diamond hands thing. I think it's funny. I even made a t-shirt today. I made the diamond hands t-shirt. I couldn't help myself. Where is it? I don't even know how to see the store. Let me see if I can load it. The diamond hands t-shirts. There they are. Look at these majestic t-shirts. I have no idea if the price is random, but the point is I made the t-shirts because I was like, yes, I must have one of these. So I think they're on my Teespring, but anyway, I just wanted to order one myself. Pretty funny. So $30 is the technical level here, but I want to talk about these candles, and I just want to say this straight away. This is a great learning curve for people here. This candle setup, I just love so much, and you see it all the time. You see it in stocks, you see it in currencies, you see it in commodities. Just focus on this type of stuff. Monthly candle here, yeah? Rejection, rejection, body close above. Okay, when this body close happened above, I didn't care if we had the silver squeeze, if we had anything else. This body close above over here is such a massive thing for candle traders. It means that there's been a huge change in sentiment in this particular commodity. We had bearish action, and then we took out all the little stop losses were above here. It's effectively a squeeze in itself. You're pushing higher, taking out those shorting stop losses, and then it was inevitable that it was going to try to run back up to the 30. Now, this momentum could get us through here, but we saw a couple of times 30 is the key. 30 is the key. Stonks Go Up Daily says everyone and his mum are in stonks now. Market crash pending, I assume. Yes, the more people that get into the market and the more people that feel FOMO, the more likely we are at the end of a cycle for now. We've talked about this though. I think there will be a correction this year. A lot of big players say that, but at the same time, I still think we end 2021 bullish through the markets. So 30 will remain the play card for today's session, and I am going to watch this one. Please alert me if we see this thing coming up to the 30. I'd love to be there when it hits 30 and cracks through. It had a go at it today actually in the smaller time frame. But remember this candle pattern is so important. So let's look at the broader market here, and then we'll go to some community questions. 30,000 for the Dow, okay? 30,000 for the Dow, big recovery. It was down and gapped open. The S&P 500, Dow Jones, everything was gapping down this morning, and then full rebalance back up here. S&P, 3744. That's a pretty big recovery, actually. Nasdaq, 13,047. You can see the low here, 12,727. We know Nasdaq's going to be the most volatile one this month, statistically. Again, that goes back to the last video I made, but very, very important. Then we've got a few other things going on here. VIX, of course. VIX is slightly going down here into the US session. We've had the European, the Asian session. We haven't had the US American session yet. So we'll have to see whether the VIX increases, but every one of these greens doesn't help us there. Let's go over to the community here. A few people saying, Mr. Maggot says, I like the Wall Street Bets avatar. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Whoever came up with that's very hilarious. So many vids. Johnny Bravo says so many vids on YouTube over the weekend with silver next GME in the title. Look, there's a lot of spruiking going on here, Johnny. And it kind of hits on two levels. You've got, I guess you could say, the boomers, the older generation. They love stacking their silver anyway, and they have done so for a long time. You've got what makes logical sense as well. And then, of course, you've got the hate for the establishment right now. And then the problem is, of course, now Wall Street Bets doesn't like this idea because they found out one of the big holders is Melvin or whatever it is. Johnny reckons chat's going to break 2K today. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. So it's all been about silver for today. I'd say that's probably the story. I had a quick look on the pre-market here as well. Let's have a look at the pre-market just for the stocks. And you can see that there isn't anything too crazy going on right now. There's a few stocks up decent. Obviously, things like Tesla, the beaten down stocks, they've been the ones that have been moving. GameStop moving down. Now, this is an indictment on the industry. And I don't know if you guys are pissed off like I am about this. I'm not participating too much in the GameStop movement, okay? I'll admit I'm not on it. But what I will say is that I'm very, very annoyed that everyone is getting stopped from trading. And I hate it so much. I'm going to have a rant. And the reason I'm going to rant is because if they really wanted to protect people's accounts and have a free market, don't offer leverage on the product. If you're going to do that, fine. But if you're going to block the product through everything, I've had 10 brokers over the weekend message me, and they've basically all said, oh, we're not going to offer it. We're not even going to let you do it. In fact, they're forcing closing almost on it. That really annoys me. Don't offer leverage if you're trying to protect the retail investor from adverse effects, but still allow them to trade it. So I don't know how many of you guys have been blocked. I'd love to know how many of you guys have been blocked. Let me know if your broker has sent you a block message for GME and AMC. Siddharth Mully says, just caught the spike on GME minute one chart. Well, we'll take a look at that very, very soon, Siddharth. I assume you made much more than $10, so well done to you. Hopefully you're getting that movement there. Thomas Slav coming in with the gold and silver, saying XRP as well. Man, is there so many things that have happened over the weekend. So we've had XRP. This is a cryptocurrency for anyone that's not sure. And we're just going to go through a few of these big moves over the weekend to start with. I think these are just really good way to get started for the hype of the Monday session. Look at this XRP move. So we've got a big move out coming off, of course, that last movement. We're now testing the highs. Kind of looks like silver in some ways. It's testing the highs. waiting to see whether it can break out. Now, we know that XRP is a classic pump and dump. Pump and dump. Back in 2017, 2018, it was one of the last to go. It went crazy and it dumped really hard. So be careful on the Doge coin or the Doji coin or whatever you want to call it, and be careful on the XRP. It's classic case of pump and dumps often here, and we just hit the resistance. I wouldn't be surprised at all though for this to come back. I had some people messaging me today. They're like, I want to get on Doge. How do I buy Dogecoin? How do I buy XRP? How do I buy this? People that don't even know how to use the internet. And they're literally trying to buy these coins. So you can see the hype is real there. A few people coming in with an answer to that. Robinhood posted new stock blocks. Okay, well, that's just terrible. Did you catch Elon in an interview this weekend saying he is a BTC supporter, says Boomer Dave? I didn't catch that, but I do know that he obviously posted about it and was clear that he's probably been buying some. And he wants to move some of the Tesla money into it, doesn't he, I believe? Something like that. FC Shopping says, lucky I'm few other brokers. Absolutely. Blocked on eToro, blocked on IBKR, both trading without margins, still blocked. Yeah, that's just crap, isn't it, Joe? That's just crap. Kunal says, Stake says they are good, but I couldn't trade the past 2 days due to other issues with the app. Well, I'm actually talking to Stake, so hopefully they can get that sorted. I was hoping Stake would get it done. Christina says, hi everyone. Wow, Diamond, thank you, FX. Absolutely. Everyone's got Diamond tiers now and part of the membership. Absolutely. Elon is talking about silver to get people away from silver. He can't. Yeah, he doesn't want silver up. That would not be in his best interest. Absolutely not. So we've got the XRP move. We've got, of course, the Doji USD move. Look at this move that's just come through today as well. Look at that. Wow, the weekly was just insane coming off there, and now of course we're in the last phase. Now this actually could be a good classic case of what a blow off might be from a technical standpoint. Let's see how this one plays out. I'm just going to draw it because this is a classic case of what I think will be a blow off. So blow-off traditionally comes up to the 61.8 to the 78.6 of the previous move here. It will then hover in that zone and bust down. Then it will form a new low and then consolidate. So let's see how this particular coin reacts. That would be something I would think would happen on this particular coin, just from a technical perspective. Anyway, we'll go on to our pre-market kind of movements here, coming into the pre-market, what's going on. We've got a 308 pre-market here on GameStop, so a little bit lower. I would expect this to most likely move down today. And the only reason is because I think a lot of people are being blocked out and they've got to open new accounts if they want to get in. People are probably, a lot of retail traders are going to be just like too lazy to open enough accounts to get in as well. So I think they're really limiting this ability for the movement towards 1,000. We'll have to see whether more people open different accounts. In America, I'm just not sure how many brokers are still offering it. Bank Nifty went up 8.2% in one day. Yogendra says, wow, that's crazy. Obviously, they created a lot of stimulus in India. Siddharth says, GME 1 minute chart is the ultimate TA. Well, I don't have the pre-market moves here, but if you have a look at the 1 minute chart, well, there's some bounce here that was good. Resistance has become support. That's pretty nice, isn't it? That was a good little pickup there. But there's some good supports through here. Yeah, all right. I'll give it to you. There's some stuff I'm seeing there on the 1 minute. Very dangerous though, Siddharth. Be careful there, sir. All right, well, let's get started with the S&P 500. So, of course, we've got here the futures. We know the futures have bounced back very, very hard. And this is a big move, I think, in the pre-market. I mean, we had 36.64, now trading at 37.53. Can it hold up? So we talked about the sequence in our video over the weekend. We talked about the sequence and the fact that it went from a peak to a trough to a lower peak to a lower trough on the real market as well as the futures. The question is, we're going to open on the high. Now, we do know that historically the market does like to do this to us, doesn't it, guys? On Mondays, how often do we open a session where the Asian session has bounced higher, it comes in, rallies for the first 1 hour, I stop streaming, and then it declines? How many times has that happened to us all in the community? Quite a few times. And that could be exactly what's being pumped right now. We haven't seen a full day of trade yet. Mondays are notoriously like that. They open with a lot of hype and anticipation from the retail community and are often smacked back down by the evil Wall Street and what they're trying to do. So definitely something that I think, if you're looking at today, it is all about that daily close. We need the daily close underneath the 50 ideally, or at least a bit of a retracement here. And if it doesn't do that and it starts taking out these previous daily close kind of high points, I think that's all she wrote for now for the correction. But again, the stats really say that February should be a weak month. Average post-election year, February since 1950. I'm going to go with these stats. I think they're pretty good. This is basically the worst month of the year, almost every single time. Now, if it's the worst month of the year almost every single time, and we don't have a bad month, what does that tell us about the rest of the year? Are we going to some kind of hyper leg extension where the market just goes so out of control? We need a healthy correction. We have to get one for us to believe in the next moves. Otherwise, we're going to have to always be sitting there on tenterhooks all the way while this thing keeps going up, because you need that 2 steps forward, 1 step back analogy. 2 steps forward, 1 step back absolutely needs to be done. Jose says, has the dollar risen? Well, that's a good question there. So the dollar over here, if you can see, has gone up a little bit. It's still stuck in our range. So let's look at that range right now. Let's get rid of this for a second. We'll load up dollar index. Let's have a look at what dollar index is actually doing. So dollar index has become stuck between 2 areas. I basically go and put it down here. We've got the 90 basically down here, which is a really important point. And then we've got this strong resistance here at the 91. This is the key critical. Let me go back down to the 90. This 91 is the key critical point for the dollar index this week, and actually could put silver, kind of stop it in its tracks too, theoretically. If we push the dollar through this point, how good does the retest become? I would argue pretty damn good. This, such a critical point here. We break through this point with resistance. What have we got? Several wicks. All these wicks. Rejection, 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 all from this level. Look at this rejection. Holy moly, that was big when it happened. I remember talking about that on the stream and how the 20 was going to hold that up. But yeah, that was crazy. We get through here if we have buying pressure. That also should theoretically be the sign that the stock market's going to come down. Because if we get through this level, we're basically saying risk off. If we say risk off, hey, that could mean stock market correction, can't it, guys? $77 coming in with US $5. Thank you very much, $7. Extremely cautionary week. Corporate insiders have rarely been as bearish as they are now. So that's coming from $77. Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, I do agree. Basically, corporate insiders are very bearish. That's important. And what $10 is talking about is if you have an insider in a company that's very bearish on their stock, they know their earnings. If you have a culmination of huge amounts of them, they start selling their stock in huge portions, unlike normal, that becomes very, very concerning as well. I think Nvidia is a classic case of this one. It brings up a good question. And that is that if you have a look here, and sometimes insider transactions, it's really bad. Insider transactions are hideous right here, 42.75. If you scroll down through finviz.com, you can actually see all of the sales. You can see the people that are generally selling this particular stock, how much they're selling, whether it's unusual. This guy, just what a boss. What a boss. Taking out so much money. Absolute boss, this dude. Always having these options exercises and sales all the time. But yeah, look, there's a decent amount. It's basically a ton of activity, but there's been sales here for a long time. So you can see sales here for a long time. So you'd want to pull even more data back. A little bit of buying here. Not much, but mostly negative across quite a lot of stocks. $7 says insider selling has reached the highest level in decades, indicating that we are about to witness the largest slaughter of retail investors since 2000. I think there would certainly be some corrections coming through there. Absolutely. You can see things like this S&P PE ratio. This one here is a very dodgy figure though. Remember, whenever you're looking at PE ratios, it's earnings, yeah? If we're in a pandemic or we're in a crash or some kind of bad time with stimulus, just like in 2008, you don't expect this stat to be very, very correct. PE becomes kind of useless, but it still is very, very high. And there are a lot of tech stocks in there as well, which have good earnings. So you got to remember that's weighting it up. Schiller PE ratio, one I used to pay a lot of attention to until monetary policy became way too prevalent. 33.82, basically the second highest only to the dot-com boom now. Very big points here happening. And of course, this will actually be up today as the stock market's moving up. So Schiller PE is also very, very high. So we've got a couple of things coming together. We've got beat rates high, but the stock market's still selling off. We've got FOMO coming through. We've got a historically weak month, as I've mentioned so many times before, but just to new members, to people that haven't subscribed, definitely if you like this, consider doing so. Feb 8.4 negative, March negative. April though, April guys, if we see correction, I'm going to be bullish in April. I'm always pretty bullish in April. April has been a historically amazing year for me. If we go through that long-term stats, and I just use this all the time because it paid off for me over time. April is a good month. July is a good month. In America, I don't like being in the market so much, August, September, October as much. I like to pull the correction out in November, and especially the 14th to 15th of December, I like to go very long. They seem to work, and it works really well. So if it works really well, stick to it, yeah? So very interesting stats here. Great stuff. Are we going to look at the Nasdaq? Absolutely, we're going to look at the Nasdaq totals. Absolutely. Correa, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Lifestyle and wellness. Well, if you're thinking about trading, you want to definitely have a good amount of lifestyle and wellness. You don't want to always be stuck in front of the charts too much. Nasdaq's very, very similar to the S&P. Basically, we came off the 50 exponential. Most of my aims here for this correction, if it is going to be continued, is all around these 20 exponentials on the weekly. It's not that deep. Basically, we're talking about like another 1,000 points off the Nasdaq. Down to this level, I think there's going to be a lot of buying pressure. But right now, coming into the Monday morning session, I'm going to probably be more focused on specific things. Like I'm definitely focused on silver because I'd love to see a 30 crack. I think it's going to go ballistic. If it gets through 30, I'm excited. I just think that's going to be very fun if it does. Then you're talking about this Nasdaq. Well, we want to see it make new peaks over these last lows in the real market for us to be convinced that there's a little bit more movement for the day trade up. At this stage, everything's still in the bearish category, with the peak, the trough, the lower peak, and the lower trough. So I think the first hour of trade might be bullish, and then potentially some bearishness after that. Cody says, do you think AMC will break 16 today? I think AMC's had some pretty good figures. Now I'm going to show you guys a pretty cool little website. It's pretty cool. So let's select Wall Street Bets. And yeah, I'll share this with you. Don't worry. And then we can select last 6 hours and compare it. And what this will do is it'll actually show us, well, it should show us. How'd that not happen? What the? Is this thing broken or something? Let me refresh this. It was working literally all weekend. I've been using it. And last week. There we go. No. All right. So what it does is it tracks basically the stocks and how much chatter there's been about those stocks. So you can see here all of the stocks that have been talked about in this particular thread. And you can also see Twitter trending stocks. I'm going to share this with you guys. Here you go. There you are. So you can check that one out. And it's quite a good little website for just checking some of the stock codes that you're interested in. We did see some trending stuff on the weekend. You obviously saw a little bit of silver come through. Sometimes you've got GME up here. You can see the score change is technically down. But check out on this. You can click on the actual stocks. So let's click on AMC and GME just quickly here. And you can actually see the Reddit score is fully going down. So the super hype that was every single person interested in it has died off a little bit on the weekend. So to get that back up, you're going to need share price going up. The stock price has to go up as well. But it's interesting to see the Reddit score versus the stock price. So Reddit score was actually quite low. And then you see the retail community really came in here. Not the people in the know so much, but the retail community. And then they all came in at the same time as, of course, the hype mounted. And then the stock fell off. And now that they're all in, the stock's kind of hovering at that level, at those still below where it was. It's a very interesting phenomenon here. Definitely interesting to look at. If we go to something like AMC, we scroll down through there. AMC is an interesting one because the Reddit score is actually very, very powerful, yet the stock is not holding it. So it shows you that the main kind of hodl mentality, the diamond hands, I think are more in GME than they are in AMC. There's more people that are of faith going against Citron, going against Melvin, that kind of thing in GME. But I do think that AMC has the best chance. I think maybe BlackBerry and Nokia, possibly their time is over. What do you guys think? Do you reckon BlackBerry and Nokia have got a chance still? I think it's all about the AMC and the GME. But I do think there's a lot of risk there. Moose 76, bringing in all of the stuff. Silver to the moon. Silver 29.98. Is that true? You trolling me? Ah, it's not 29.98. Come on, Bull God. You gotta give me real stats here, man. Can't be having no fake numbers here on the silver. I'm gonna actually, just for that, I'm gonna load it up on my second screen and third screen. Just so I have it there. All right, I can see it. Very good. Raphael says Nokia long term. Yeah, fair enough. Sandola says BB and Nokia being suppressed by the shorts. Too many shorts out there. Yeah, look, I think there's quite a lot there. It's also a pretty big market cap for everyone to look after. All right. I just want to quickly talk about this one. Anyone ever checked out gold-silver ratios before? I'm sure you're aware of that. I don't want to use that one. Usually, where is it? That website's no good. I thought it was like multiple or something, the website. No, whatever. So basically your gold silver ratio, if you're thinking about targets and you're thinking about where does gold silver usually crap out, it's around that 35 kind of level. So you can see how underpriced silver was at one stage during the of course crash in 2020, and where it is now is still room to go. So it generally likes to hover, and during that 2011 run, it went to around 35. So I think 35 is historically the number that most people look at when it comes to fair valuation to gold as a ratio. It's very unfairly rallied right now. So that'll be another interesting thing to check out. A lot of people saying silver is a distraction. Yeah, I think silver could be a distraction. It's going to be incredibly hard to push against it. But you got to remember, there's a lot of winners in the GameStop situation as well. It's not all losers, just a couple of big fund losers there. And obviously, I think it's very funny and very good. Let's talk about US oil. I wanted to mention this one before we get into all the stocks into the pre-market. Anyone that's been trading oil for some time would know that it's been very bullish, been a good little position there. We've had the 20 exponential moving average hitting support all the way through. We've got that resistance that's come in as well. Let's have a look at the weekly candles here. Another TA example of what I call a very good level. Very cool level. So why do I have this range drawn up? Pretty obvious. Previous supports, resistance, becoming resistance again. I already taken profit. This is definitely the zone that I was targeting. I was targeting around that 50 area. So it's very much done that. But look and draw your attention to these weekly candles here. Rejection, rejection, rejection candles. What happens if we get a big bullish candle here? We take out many people's short sells. There'll be retail traders. There'll be hedge funds. There'll be a lot of people. If we get a big bullish candle past there, Where is it going to go next? Well, it's actually going to go quite bullish. It'll go most likely to the 64 resistances up here, 63, 64. But if it fails here, we're basically in a bit of a trading range. So the trading range is definitely a very, very interesting area. And I quite like what's happening here on US oil, just in terms of at least we've finally got, oh, I don't want that one. At least we've finally got a nice little horizontal kind of channel appealing on this US oil. And that's how some of the analysis I do. I basically find a range, I find market structure. When we've found market structure, guys, what do? Well, we either can trade the market structure inside there, or we can take advantage of knowing key levels and then playing off those key levels with the candle confirmations. Brian says silver hit 30.64 in the pre-market. So I saw it hit about 30.2 on my quote there, Brian. 30.2. Are you talking about something else other than the spot? Seems like a lot of people on the silver wagon. Maybe there was just like a huge pent-up demand of people that really like the bullion. I kind of wish I had like a webcam on right now and I had some big ball of bullion in the back. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to buy like 50k or 100k of bullion. Is that enough? I'm not even sure. And then just chuck it there and stack it. That'd be pretty funny. Is silver an attack by oil against the green agenda, says Peter. Well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Look, I think it could be a lot of things going on here. There's a lot of different stuff at play. But for sure, silver is still historically weak against a lot of things, including, of course, what we've seen in the past, which is gold-silver ratios get a lot better than they are now. All right, let's go back over to that screener. And where are we? What am I doing? I need to go over the screener here. Go to the futures, have a quick look, just refresh these ones through. So again, big days across the board green right now, waiting for the US to give us more information. Currencies across the world, we've got gold, BTC up 34,000, very nice. Elon obviously pushed that one, created a very good candle for us to pay attention to as well in the future when we get to those. And then across the board, crypto, it's all been about the XRP. VIX, 31, guys, 31. So it's not actually really doing too much. We've got these strong resistance at 40. Now, if you get past a 40 this week, I mentioned this last week, this has me thinking there's more in this correction. We had a weekly close above the 30 zone. A weekly close above the 30 zone. That means bullish momentum. Bullish momentum, possibly towards more fear in the markets for the week ahead. Usually we haven't seen that. We've seen rejection of the VIX, rejection of the VIX, rejection of the VIX very quickly. Not too many big close candles above. We'll have to see whether it can pull it up for another one, but 40 is the key zone for severe fear coming back into the markets. We get above there, and we're looking at those 12,000 kind of levels on the Nasdaq. We should be very, very concerned. Just going to take some lists down here. If you have stocks that you want to get looked at and they're big ones, definitely put them in the room. We'll check those out over time. We've obviously covered off so far for people. We've covered off silver. We've covered off the US 500 and with our thoughts on that coming into the pre-market so far. We've covered off, of course, the Nasdaq volatility index. We're going to now have a quick look at gold and what's going on there. So gold not doing as well as, of course, the silver counterpart, but very cool point coming up. Little resistance here. I'm going to put my little box in this zone. I'm going to draw up the horizontal line. Wow, wow, wow. I like this level. 1875 zone. Resistance. Crazy weak rejections. It's the same concept we've just talked about before. Bullish pressure coming in. Can we push the bull through here and close? If we can, I think gold's got a nice little run into it. It's starting to fall a little bit behind silver, possibly back to that 1960, at least to the 1900. So very interesting zone, that 1875. Worthwhile, considering and having on your charts for other stuff. AMD, quite a few people. GME, Alex says. We'll be looking at GME plenty tonight, I'm sure. First Majestic, that's a good one from Asane. Absolutely. First Majestic is the silver stock that should be coming in pretty strong, I would assume. What is AG coming in at? Should have a good pre-market. Oh, I should have picked up some more of this beastie. It's $25. Wow, that's awesome. I love that one. That's good, guys. 38%, not bad. Not bad. Very nice. $25. Sweet. Yeah, all the silver stocks in Australia here in the Asian session went really well today. Big percentages. 40%, 30%, 20% on these little ones. Every single little silver miner was like an opportunity. I hope some people got some of these. Yeah, 40% pre-market's awesome. Now, where does this type of thing stop? Well, we're hitting the resistance and we've totally smashed that. We've then got back to the 2011 highs. Wow. 2011 highs straight in the pre-market. So it's probably going to find some pressure there, you would think. That's all the history we have on it. Straight into the resistance straight away. Wow. If it gets past there, well, you're in uncharted territory, but this is a heavy resistance for it. You would think that it opens, finds some selling pressure, and then if it breaks through there, then I would just be drawing basically a horizontal line across the top here. Yeah. Very cool, though. 41% the pre-market. I know a few people have done well off this one, if it holds. Nice. AMC, another one that a lot of people want to look at. We'll do that right now. 13% up, $15. We can see here that AMC is still quite off how high it was over here in the past. I think there's more room in this if the movement continues to go on. It's a bigger company by market cap though. So our smaller company, isn't it? It's quite small, this one. So it's definitely very possible. That's why I'm surprised that it's not getting even more interest. Isn't AMC relatively small? What's AMC's size? AMC is 4.5 billion, so pretty small at this price. I mean, it's big, but it's smaller than some. I mean, if you put that into, GME obviously started smaller, but you've got GME here, 22.67. So quite a lot more room to be pumped in there if they are going to have success with it. Where to next for this one? I think it's just all about maybe $5 chunks, standard kind of retail sentiment. You hit 15, you hit 20, hit 25, you hit 30, if that's what happens. Buy zones as well will be those $5 increments. Let's see how it's traded so far. So I know it hit 20 and then sold off, and it came down to a random zone because of the aftermarket flushing. And then it came up to 15, found resistance. So yeah, this is going to most likely trade like standard retail trade stuff. So just remember, when you're dealing with the market like a cryptocurrency or anything like that, it trades very similar to human psychology. We love round numbers. Where do we take profit? I want $20. I don't want $19.99. If I call someone and I say we should take profit at $19.90, they just say 20. No, I'm like, no, you need to take profit at $19.90. There's lines sitting at the 20, guys. There's lines. You can't sell there. They're like, no, I want 20. I'm just like, oh my God, terrible. Because they like doing their calculations that way. So just remember, when you're trading a retail stock like a Tesla or a Bitcoin currency, or of course you've got AMC or anything like that, round numbers are the key. Awesome to have so many here, by the way. We're about to crack 1,000 viewers. So thanks so much to everyone that's been joining us. 1,000 viewers. If you haven't subscribed, definitely consider doing so. And remember, anyone that hasn't joined the Stonk Squad, definitely consider doing so today. I put what I like to think is a pretty nice membership greeting. So if anyone wants to, check that out. Should be good. Got stories of the day here coming in on Market Watch before we go to some other stocks and some more questions from the community. We'll do that in just a minute. More articles, of course, about this silver thing. Pretty much it's all just GameStop and silver, isn't it? GameStop, silver, all of that type of stuff. Tesla CEO Elon Musk calls Robinhood COO the stock. Vlad, that's good. Grills him over the GameStop saga. I like that one. This is probably the most hyped I've ever seen people in the stock community. It's really awesome. I just think it's awesome everyone's interested in investing. I've got people telling me that they didn't even care about it. Any tips on silver and those kind of things? Well, I think that the paper contract is definitely worse than the stocks. I think people that got into things like, I think First Majestic, where it's going to open, is well overpriced. It's a massive move. on the squeeze there. But yeah, stocks were usually the better way of owning things, or physical, but maybe like a physical ETF as well that holds the bullion. The problem with the paper is you've got roll fees and you've got a lot of concerns over what the paper can do as well. If anyone's traded oil before, did any of you guys out there, did anyone get stuck by this? Oil contango last year. You won't see the same thing, but that's the danger of some paper products. When it came time to, of course, take delivery of the oil, you couldn't put it anywhere and it went negative $40 on the contract. You don't want to be stuck in that as much as you can. Someone said they're holding XRP and can't sleep. Where is that? Thomas Love, I'm holding XRP. It's 11:40 p.m. here. I have work at 7 a.m. Can I sleep? Thomas Love. Depends how much money you've got in it, man. Can you sleep? I'm not sure. In crypto, you're not allowed to sleep. 24/7, baby. You're not allowed to sleep in crypto, man. Do you think Mr. Singh says, do you think the silver squeeze will hurt stocks? No, it depends how far it goes. I think it will be nipped in the bud, as in like it's going to get stopped. But that being said, you know, above 30 is the key here for silver today, as we've mentioned several times. This is just my pivots on here, by the way. We can get rid of those. But yeah, I think it could if it went really high. If it went over $100, hell yeah, it would. How many shorts does AMC have? Quite a lot. I haven't got the short interest open at the moment, Brandon. Hello to everyone that's coming in out there. We'll go through some more. What do you think? Thank you, Tom. No worries. Someone talking about tendies. I love that one. A few people saying don't touch silver right now. Look, I think silver's at the critical point. $30 is very, very, very strong. Very tough point. Has to get through there. Has to get through there. Let's have a look at the Webull pre-market now coming in. What have we got up? Got Beijing, Align, Tesla up 2.89, 2.92. So that's back over the 800, 816 now. Some nice movement coming in there. Another semiconductor coming in. BlackRock going up. Maybe some people decided that they made some money on the GameStop situation. Spotify, all the usual kind of targets here. Mostly, you know, pretty good pre-market. You can see when we're talking about 14 billion and up, we're only showing 500 stocks. So to get the GameStop in, well, let's just move this to 21. Actually, it still should be there. And what have we even got down today? So we've got all these up and then down, really just Zoom and a few others. Almost everything is green, with of course that AG metal, I think, First Majestic being one of the standout kind of plays. We'll do some analysis now on AMD. I think that's been a very interesting one. A lot of people looking at this stock. A lot of people interested in my thoughts on it as well. So we stopped just close of the 100. Okay. This is a good little case of technical analysis as well. I want to just go through the history of this stock recently. So we've got here beautiful support through the 75. Okay. So we know it acts quite well. It also has some amazing kind of levels here that we've also seen where we had resistances at the 87. Now we found buying support, and then we actually broke a daily through. And this is super negative. This is not a good one. Now, why is that? Because basically it's breaking past what should have been a great roll reversal area. This is actually a very good buy zone. Anyone that bought in this area and did so technically, if you did this 7 times out of 10, and you focused on levels like this, you're making a very good decision. One of the ways that I look into these types of things is I always draw my fib as well through from the trough to the peak. A lot of people ask me, how do you draw fibs? First thing, take the wick bottom, the trough, take the peak, make it as clean as possible for the move, and then you've got a fib that people use. Don't use fib so literally either. A lot of people say, I must hit the 50 fib. Nah, don't worry about that. Just draw the range. Create ranges within your structure and focus on the range rather than scalping in the price. We've got Thomas Donegan giving me a burger with CAD $1.49. Thank you very much. Is that the picture from Doom? Is that Doom or Wolfenstein or something, Thomas? I think it is, man. Great name, by the way. Yeah, so breakthrough here is pretty significant on the close. I think that really should trigger further selling pressure coming in here from AMD. But again, it all comes back to the market. This is a bearish signal for the stock, and it should be taken as a consideration. If we get a bullish engulf today, where basically the market completely reverses that and does one of these and closes, then maybe it was just a fake out. And you can probably go back to finding it out. One thing's for sure, if you get back above this 98, 99 zone, when it breaches the 98, 90 zone, it will not stop at 100. That's the classic case of what happens up here. It stops at 100 the first time, stops just before, the classic retail trap. And then when it does go back up and it breaks past the 98s or the 99s, whatever, it just busts 100 and storms through. Go back and look in history at stocks the first time they ever go through $100. You'll see. Happens all over the time. Siddharth, you gambling over there? Siddharth's sitting on the 1 minute charts. It's a bit dangerous. Thanks very much as well to the mods. I think there's a bit of spruiking going on, so definitely watch that out. Yeah, definitely give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the stream. We've got 1,065. We are close to hitting all-time peaks for this stream. So appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and, of course, supporting the community. Thank you very much for that. It's Doom God mode. Yeah, perfect. I love that game. That was awesome back in the day. So that's what my thoughts are here on AMD. I think that this is a bearish close, no doubt. We're about to get a 2050 cross as well. If that did all happen, then you're going back down to at least the 80, if not the 75. There will be a fill. Today's probably a pretty important candle to look at. If we get another kind of bearish kind of close, then we most likely fill down to 80 and fill down to 75. And if I continue to see this through stocks today as well, and I see these closes down, all of these signs point to exactly what we were talking about. When the market gets to this level or this level, what do? Well, we go to our US 500 and we say, okay, if our stocks are hitting support and the US 500 is hitting support, is that a good level to potentially purchase? Absolutely it is. That's the type of thing we look for TA. Use the stock market, use the stock indices like the S&P 500 analysis and the Nasdaq to make decisions potentially on zones that you're interested in on the stocks, and then try to line them up. You'll find they line up a lot on the big blue chips. Silver's obviously moving a little bit here. A few people are mentioning it. It's interesting. There's so many people here talking about silver. I've never seen so many people talking about silver. This is crazy. Can we look at SPCE? Yes, we had some other stocks as well that we were going to look at, so we'll definitely check them all out. We'll get rid of these pivots. So this is the Virgin Galactic stock. Had a nice breakout last week. Actually held the close as well, so that's very bullish for it. You can see it's up 10%. Basically, a stock like this, when it has a movement like this, I'm patient enough to wait for, I guess, my opportunity. It is a breakout, there's no doubt. It's obviously one of these ones that's having a hyper train at the moment on it, up to the 60. If it comes back, you've got a 1-touch, 2-touch kind of resistance that should act as support. And this is where you would hope that the buying pressure comes back in. Now, that's well under current price. But the thing with this stock is it's clearly in a hyperactive mode. So right now, hype train's on. But at any point in time, if it comes back to this level, that's probably going to be where the buying pressure is going to come back into it. And I think you'll find there's also probably a trend line that comes through there as well off the lows. So there's a trend line that's been going up through this pair as well. So you've got the troughs, higher troughs all the way through. Started to get a little bit more hyperactive, but this trend line will probably still play the game if the market kind of goes like this and comes down later, or just even continues to go. This trend line probably is now something to stay on this stock for quite some time. I'd probably leave that on my chart for quite a long period. Other thing I'd do here with this type of stock is I'd go in and see where it stopped before. If it stopped at a psychological, so say it stops just before the 60 up here. So again, probably targeting every kind of $10 increment. Buy zone off the 40. 50 is obviously a level of selling as well, you would think. So every $10 on this stock, something to watch out for. Very cool. A2 Milk. Daniel. I'll have a quick look at A2 Milk for you. So what do you guys think is going to be the best return here for today? Do you think it's going to be GameStop? Do you think it's going to be AMC? Or do you think it's going to be First Majestic Silver? So we know First Majestic Silver is copping a 50%. Which stock is going to be up the most by the end of the day, do you guys think? AMC, GME, or First Majestic? First Majestic is the easy pick there. Siddharth Murli says, not gambling, buddy. $10, by the way. Thank you very much, Siddharth. Not gambling, buddy. Following price psychological zones. Very valuable lessons you teach us. Well, I'm glad you're doing that, man. And you can do it on the 1 minute. There's no worries with scalping it. The other thing is you're taking advantage of psychology, Siddharth, on a very good stock to take advantage of psychology on. So I'm happy with that, man. Good. A2 Milk absolutely getting destroyed. $20 down to the old 10. For anyone that doesn't know this in America, this particular stock here is a milk company. I know, how can a milk company be up so much? And it's a very famous kind of IPO that's gone absolutely mental. It's a little bit lower than you would have liked. This is actually very bad. When the stock goes down this much, it's very hard to buy any types of lows because it's basically in its own crash mismatching. The general thought I have here for these kind of things is wait for it to create structure, mate. When it creates structure, that's when you know accumulation is occurring. Look at the volume. Now, I don't do too much of volume analysis on the channel because I don't always see it work out that well, as in like it's not always a great opportunity and we have a fast market right now. But when you have market structure forming, look at the volume. The volume is the key. The volume is the key, absolutely. Supports here, obviously you would think $10 is going to be strong buying pressure. 2 weeks coming off that level as well. And then, of course, we have, that's pretty much the buy zone from the psychological point. I like to see some more market structure. $77 coming in with US $5 says $100 index loves the AMC for today. So quite a few people here. Let's have a look. Neo, quite a lot of people just adding in Neo overall. AG, AMC with the tendies says stonks only go up. I hope it's not silver. If it gets too expensive because of this, it's only going to raise some red flags, says Valdo. Yeah, I think that if silver gets through again, though, the 30, that's going to be very key. A lot of people on AMC. And a few people saying GMC. Don't shit GME for AMC. It's a diversion tactic. There's a lot of diversion tactics going on here. So we'll have a look at NOC. We'll have a look at Apple. We'll have a look at a few other things here. Now, where's my Nokia Corp? Someone give me the best code for TradingView on that one. Just let me know which code is good. We had a look at AMC. We'll just do CSL while we're doing that. So CSL hovering around a really good buy kind of area here. This stock is healthcare in Australia, very large company. Nice little buy support. It just hit 266, 266. Strong little buy area. This stock can do well even if the market's going down. If you're buying it, your target's very clear. 320 resistance several times. Nice structure forming on this stock as well. So as that structure forms, of course, that gives us the ability to then say, okay, we have our targets. And then if it breaks through, on to the next areas. So I like the buy zones through this. I'm a pretty big believer in the fundamentals in this stock. NOCSEC. I wonder if I can trade the futures market on this one. I'm not in the Nokia. You can't use this one, can you? I have to use the... which code do I have to use? I guess this one. All right. This stock is... Wow. Yeah. I think this one could be over. This is not what you want to see for someone that's trying to do a short squeeze again. If this is the full squeeze that came through, hit the 10 just before, got out psychological resistance, completely broke down and back into the really tight kind of area. This is not what you want to see at all for this kind of movement. I do not like that. I'll just say that straight up. I know a few people will disagree with me. There might be value in the stock. Hey, That's true. There could be value and opportunity potential, but for the short squeeze, it's very, very tough. It's a very great level though. Isn't $5 here very awesome? Great resistance zone. Very, very good level. If it gets back through that, then I might be a believer back into it. Be very careful on this type of one. That basically was a pump with a full-on dump. Yeah, I don't like that one very much at all. GME moving back up, 327. Good to see. Good to see. Keep the diamond hands up. Is that right? Keep the diamond hands up, guys. Obviously, people really believing and holding in that one, which is awesome to see. But yeah, I don't like that. No, 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 no. NAKD. I've been asked this a billion times, so I'm going to do it. Nice breakout. Hit the resistance. Slightly over the top. Came back down. $1.78. So this one here must have probably some fundamentals on it as well. Yeah, it's cool level. Wait for I mean, what can you really say about this other than you're going to have, there's a lot. This is a logarithmic scale. That's why it's so insane. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of room here on this stock. I'm not sure why it bounced out here. Technicals are hard on stocks like this because this is a very crazy move. If you have like a trend line that you put through these lines, you can see here the breakout certainly has happened. You had all those peaks all the way down with rejections. You can see the consolidation there. That's what led also to a very full blast. Very nice technical there. Hit the resistance. And at this point, anything's your guess up to $10. Cool. Nice trend line break though. This is a good little learning lesson for everyone if you haven't ever seen it before. Check out this. Little bit of consolidation here. Remember, this is the weekly candle. Consolidation right around this. This proves that this was a beautiful trend line and proves this is a great area. This is what you should see around a trend line break. Close candle above, little bit of discrepancy, comes back down, tests it from the top down, and then boom. Very nice. Love that. Textbook. John Field says, I missed your AMC review. Did you like short squeeze potential or no? $5. Thank you very much, John. Yeah, look, I like AMC. I think that it makes more sense than that other one that we were looking at, Nokia. At least this stock has a lot of interest in it. We went and did our quick little thing here as well. We had a look at the AMC profile. I mean, this is very risky stuff, yeah? You could lose a lot of money. You have to make your own decisions. Obviously, this is not financial advice anyway on these type of things. No way. But what I am saying is that the Reddit score is still very, very high for it, which means there's a lot of people still talking about it. You can see the Twitter score has certainly gone down a little bit since the hype of last week, but the market's not open yet. And I think there is more room due to the market cap size and everything like that. There is a movement here. And I think a lot of people also gravitate towards the more value train. So GME is obviously the movement, and then other people are looking for the movement plus profit. And they may see more profit potential in a cheaper stock. And I think that is something that you want to look at as well when you're thinking about this whole thing that's going on. Why is silver being relatively successful right now? Because people don't believe silver can go down below, maybe $15 or something. So they feel a lot more comfortable in it, so they're buying it. AMC, cheaper. Few people messaged me last week. They were talking about it. I know from my perspective on talking about it from them, why were they buying it? It was cheaper. They saw more opportunity percentage in it. But yes, this stock is broken out above the $8. That's important. And really, you're looking at every $5. So our review was every $5 increment becomes a psychological buy or sell zone, depending on the level it's hitting it from. Turbo Lou coming in with $2. Thank you very much, Turbo. Appreciate that. Did I search the wrong knock? On the New York Exchange? Sorry, guys. It's the same thing, though, isn't it? Even if I search Nokia and I just search like Nokia stock price, it's still going to have that rejection, isn't it? Is it still trading around $4? Yeah, NYC is the right stock. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in this one. I can assure you I haven't even looked at it. It doesn't, this particular one doesn't interest me too much. If this is the one, where is it, the New York Stock Exchange one, it's the exact same problem. The full rejection happened. That means there's just not enough faith in the positioning. If the thing is trading at this point, then it's just not good. I don't like things that can't hold candles. GME, I'm so impressed with. If you said to me last week, can GME hold 300 plus? I would have said there's just not enough diamond hands out there. But there was. It was so impressive. I mean, this close was just so impressive. What that is testament to people believing, and of course, Deep Value coming out and showing his account all the time. That is so impressive. I can't tell you how much I was impressed by that, and I've been trading for a long time. For people to hold into the weekend, for people not to sell, and for them to hold a candle without it being squeezed through a Friday, wow. So we're sitting here at 12 o'clock. We've got, of course, a little bit of time still to go before the open. Let's go back over to the screeners. Let's talk quickly about these Friday moves. I want to look at some sectors as well. I want to do some sector analysis with everybody here as a community before we go back into the stocks and the pre-market. So we can see all the stocks that are doing pretty poorly. 5% for Tesla. It looks like it's going to put on about 3 back from that 5% drop so far. We've got Apple down 3.74. If we go to, and I want to do this, I always like to go to 3-month performance and 6-month performance. Sometimes you can see some things that are interesting. Amazon, 1.37% up. Facebook down over the last 3 months. Actually super underperforming. Also notice this, consumer defensive has been horrible. Now, I think it's due for that because, of course, there was huge amounts of hoarding that pushed the stocks up. A lot of money went into that. But when we look at the sector analysis, you'll notice consumer defensive is doing terrible right now. Consumer cyclical, not doing so well. 6 months, then, of course, Amazon's still actually a pretty bad performer over 6 months. So sometimes it's worthwhile just coming in, clicking on your different performances, just having a look at it, just to get an idea of some of the large caps, some of the areas that are doing things from a very visual perspective. Remember, when we're trading, when we're investing, how many hours can we put in, guys? We can't put in that much. Getting systems that are fast for you to go and look at stuff can and give you an idea and scan and focusing on areas can be very, very helpful. So you can see here the 1 year performance as well. $77, give me a coffee, US $4. Thanks, $10. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. By the way, we have just hit, I believe it is a record for the community here. So thanks very much for everyone. 1,135 concurrent viewers on the stream pre-market. Only a few hours now until, of course, market open, where we see, can diamond hands hold on AMC, BB, GME, possibly silver, and of course, Dogecoin. That one doesn't seem to be very diamond handsy, I don't think. All right, let's bring in our COIFIN. Let's do some analysis here on the sectors. Bring this one over. If you haven't seen this one before, we've got a lot of new people here. I think you owe me a subscription if you haven't seen this one, because it's a great free tool. It's called COIFIN. I have no affiliation with it whatsoever, but it's cool. So I've loaded up here 1 month performance of all the sectors in the market. You can see that now technology sector is actually 1.22% down for the month. The other thing that I notice here is XLP, which is of course that consumer staples area, is down pretty hard, 4.7. XLI, which is the industrials, down 3.79. And the other ones are still up. You also notice that utilities, while it's falling, is not falling anywhere near as hard as the other areas. Didn't have that much a gain either in it. We're starting to do that gain rotation we're talking about, but then it fell off. If we go back to 3 month target here on all of the indices, you can see utilities is as flat as a tack, coiling. Those stocks are coiling, waiting for the next breakout. Look how horrible this is. 0.2%. That's very bad for 3 months considering the rise we've seen in the market. So there could be some value in those stocks as they come out of a rotation at some point. XLE, XLF, we expect those to still be the better performance for the next 3 months. Remember, the first 3 to 6 months of a recovery, as in actually when a recovery starts, is performed by the stocks that got punished. Financials and energy will do well over these sectors. Then they will become, I believe, trash. And I'm going to say it. I think they're going to be trash after that point. Very, very tough. Basio says, well deserved on the stream record. Thank you very much. Oh, Macy J? I cannot say your name, man. Siddharth Muli, another US $5. Thank you very much, Siddharth. Oscar says, first time watching your videos. Awesome video. Thanks very much, Oscar. Look, we definitely try, and we've got a lot more to come for 2021. But yes, I always caution people, and I say this thing about, we thought that around here we were going to have a recovery in energy and financial. Siddharth, Johnny Bravo, Dave, a few of the other guys out there that are here right now would know that we've talked about this quite a few times. Then we know that there's going to be a period of pretty strong recovery. And I kind of put a timer on it. I say 3 to 6 months. It happens time and time again the same way. When you get the 3 to 6 months, this is maybe just a leg down for the further leg up. After that period, it generally becomes a very terrible investment again for quite some time. Because it's basically just put on the deep value. It was so underpriced, the recovery is back, and then of course it goes to just like hovering because it can't get earnings through. Banks are going to find it tough. I don't know if anyone's very bullish about those. Moose76 is crazy. He says silver 37 by the end of the day, 50 by week's end. Wow, Moose76, you're a machine. That's a big call. But if we get past 30, yes, it will be explosive. So that's my thoughts on the sectors right now. Utilities still very, very, very flat for quite some time. And of course, if we look at the last kind of 3 months and 1 month worth of data, we're starting to get into XLP really becoming a sector that is underperformed recently. Possibly some value train coming back into those ones as well, but still always the technology, all of those sectors having a good look up. We need to look at CRM a little bit later as well. $7.77, US $5 again. Thank you very much, $7. VMW was up last week. Short float heat map, even though the rest of the market was selling off, hedge fund managers were chasing VMW 10% short float. There you go. So, yeah, a lot of stocks, well, I mean, we were talking about GME and we've been talking about all of those. But, yeah, I mean, look, last week it felt like no one even wanted to talk about the market being corrected. We were losing billions and hundreds of billions of dollars on the stock market going down, yet no one cared. It's bizarre. That's the first time I've definitely seen that one as well. Quick highlights here for things coming in. We haven't even done our Bitcoin kind of analysis yet. We've got Bitcoin coming into 33,000 right now, finding the resistance at that 34. And we have, what else? Silver, 29.55. Tesla is probably trading about 8.18. I was going to say 8.16 pre-market. So quite a lot of nice little moves there coming into the pre-market. Bitcoin, though, interesting one. We have the Elon candle. I'm going to name this the Elon candle. Wait, I need to highlight this little beastie up. Collate a little rectangle on it. There we go. Put my little Elon candle there. What color will I make it? I think I'm going to go with this color. We're going to go with the purple. Elon can be a purple color. There we go. So we've got the Elon candle there. And I talk about the Elon candle because I think this is a very good play in psychology now for Bitcoin. Basically, we have quite a few rejections here. We've got the rejection off the 35. We've got the body close underneath the 35. We have the rejection again. We have the rejection again. And this becomes a key zone on the smaller time frame. Could one of the mods just deal with that guy? Let me just quickly deal with him. Sorry, bro. Too much spam, man. Put this user in timeout. There we go. So yes, basically we've got all these candles coming through. We've got the Elon candle here. And if we get above this zone, we could trigger buy pressure up to the top of the Elon candle, which is about 38,500, I think. If we break through and close above this type of candle though, I think instantly that means about sentiment that we are going well past the 40,000, well past the previous resistances, and it's going to spike much higher, possibly move towards the 45 or the 50. So the Elon candle, will continue to watch this on the channel over time and see what goes on there, because I think that this particular candle will tell us a lot about sentiment moving forward when the bulls regain back. Remember, Lunar New Year is coming. 12th of February is the Lunar New Year. It is historically like this for Bitcoin. And then actually the breakout usually is towards the upside at the end of the Lunar New Year. If you look at the cycles, that's what tends to happen. I can't believe how many people are talking about silver. I still can't believe that. That is insane. John Fields, $5, American. Thank you very much. GME and AMC to change the world. Dogecoin or Dogecoin because it's inevitable. There we go. John is bullish all three of those things, I'm guessing. Very good, John. Well, I wish you all the best on all of those ones, of course. Crazify says the amount of power Elon Musk holds. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Elon could be the most influential person that doesn't get called influential on ability to move stocks ever. But then again, a lot of these guys, like look at Ackman. Like what did Ackman do famously last year? He's like, all hotels suck or something. And then it went down and then he's like, yeah, I bought hotels. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Someone sent me an image today. I don't know if this is true. Is it true that Nancy Pelosi bought, I don't want to get political actually. I was wondering if she bought Tesla stock and then a day later or something, it was announced that they were going to give Tesla credits. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. $77, US $5. Keep it up. Absolutely, Sandol. I'm pumped for today. I am super pumped for this stream. I am very, very excited to see these market opens. What do we got going on right now? So we've still got Tesla here, 817, 818, holding that. These are the ones that are up. If we go to the ones that are down, where's our GameStop? GameStop now only down. Wow, this is paltry compared to the other moves, isn't it? 0.92%. So we know that when the open happens on GameStop, it's going to get wild. We're going to have to watch that one. We're going to have to watch AMC on the open. The reason we're going to have to watch these stocks, these are coming in with 0.8% moves. It's been 50 to 80% every day last week. How can it not go absolutely bonkers in the open? Oh, your husband bought option calls. That's very nasty. Hedgies tried to ruin Elon. Yeah, there was. That's true. That's true, Alex. The amount of shorts that were going on Tesla was obscene. And of course, that got proven very, very wrong. So you can see 323 absolutely holding the line. Absolutely holding on. The diamond hands are out. There's no paper today. Silver still hovering around the 29.47. Go back over to, where are we here? The futures markets. Let's have a quick look at the futures across the board through the world. Still everything holding the line really pretty much. A little bit coming off the S&P. It looks like 37.38. Let's just confirm that. US 500 futures. Nope, 37.48 still. So we're still pretty much holding the peaks of the day. Little bit of the bullishness coming out. Now only 1 hour, 15 minutes away. So for the community, send through some more things you want us to look at. Let's have a look at some stocks together. I'm going to load up and start off with CRM. A stock that no one seems to like at the moment, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling there's a little bit of love here maybe for CRM. Basically, we have a interesting zone. We've got a support area of the 215. We've found some buying pressure, and this is kind of the accumulation that we were talked about before. We were talking about that A2 milk, and it was dumping off, and then I was saying maybe it goes into a hole pattern. So here we have a little bit of the hole pattern. We're starting to get some structure through this zone. We have the resistance, we have the support, and of course we have the market structure in the middle. Now we can basically say, okay, well, if we get a break to the upside, what is that triggering? Well, that should be triggering buy pressure into kind of these 270 highs. We can see the resistance that came off those levels. Really cool technical kind of thing there. Probably going to get a cross of a 2050 after the break and close above 2050 moving averages we've got here, and that would be significant. If it breaks down, previous kind of 200 level resistance, maybe 190 would be the target. You'd obviously take the range of this, extrapolate that range out, and that would become your target, which pushes that at, oh, it's $15 range. So 200, perfect. Exactly what you want to see either way. But I don't mind CRM. I think it's been hovering. It's probably due over the longer term to do well. So interesting stock. Kim Lim says CRM is a good base. Yes, I agree. It is good. GoGo coming in. GoGo being a bit popular. Nice breakout here. Cool. Retracing back to one of my favorite kind of things that I see usually in technical analysis. So here we've got the 1, we've got the 2, we've got the 3, we've got the retest. There's been a little bounce off that level. We know there's buying pressure that's going to come in through this zone. It's also nice because it was breaking, as it was breaking up, notice something that was happening here. We had a little bit of a trend line, like an ascending triangle. But at the same time, guys, what we're doing is we're making a series of higher troughs as we made equal peaks, which is the essence of that type of thing. That's leading to more bullish momentum, more kind of accumulation to the upside. We had that false break, and then of course we had the real break, and the patient beaver kind of got the pickup. Not bad. That's the zone. Clearly, it's got a little bit more in it. If we're talking about how long does it go up for, we have to probably look at previous market history here. Okay, so this stock, maybe the 21. There's a lot of weird noise in here, but maybe the 21. It did kind of do what the technical would have been, which is be 2/3 of this move. And then you take that, extrapolate it out, and you'll notice it's very close to the movement itself. Yeah, so that's what you would have expected it to do. Cool. Nice one. A few people want to look back at the Dogecoin. It's going back up. All right, let's look at this on the smaller time frames here. See if we can find anything. This one is a pure case of human psychology. So we mentioned at the start of the stream it might go up to a 61.8, 78.6 fib, but it could be all over for the Dogecoin. That's time will tell on this one. If you're looking at blow-offs, what usually will happen is it will come up, it'll hit about the 61.8, hover in this zone between the 61.8 and the 78.6, and then if it busts back down, it generally makes a low actually below that point. Market structure right now looks okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks all right. Not bad. Just kind of having its little buyer bounce. This is incredibly risky though. Incredibly risky. It's a pure pump, and what do we know about this particular coin? It loves the pump dump. If you go through history of, we'll just go with BTC, maybe I have more history. When this coin goes, it pumps and then it dumps. It pumps and then it dumps. If you go back all the way to 2017, it has these massive pumps with dumps. And you have to go with the history. If it's known to pump and dump, you don't want to necessarily be the one left holding the bag. So always just think about the pumps and the dumps. I've got a donation coming in here from $7.77. $5 again. Thank you very much. Tom, I cheat with barchart.com for a quick look at call put ratios. Yeah, barchart.com is fine. Very good, $10. Nothing wrong with that one. I've got BlackBerry coming in with a request. Put call ratio is certainly worthwhile checking out though. All the time. Always look at put call ratios. Just have an idea, especially now that options trading's become such a massive thing throughout the world. So BlackBerry is a little bit more positive than that Nokia was. That Nokia was a terrifying looking chart. BlackBerry did hold up. It did kind of do okay. And you can see here, it's going to open pretty much where it closes. I feel like when you go back over this information though, in terms of what the scores are, where the interest is from the retail community. Remember, for this squeeze to work out for us as community, we need everyone to be on board. For people to be on board, you've got to have a lot of people actively talking about it and having the diamond hands. So AMC and GME are clear standouts to me in this cause, where there's a lot more discussion about them. There's a lot more chance that the diamond hands are here than they are here. The active interest is definitely dropping off for Nokia. If we have a look here at 7 days, you can see there was a lot of interest. It's still down a little bit, but there was a lot of interest. Go to last 24 hours. And you'll notice, look at this last 12 hours. Very telling to me here. BB and NOK down 273, 261. While at the same time, even if we took ratios, I think you'll find this is very, very low for these. Then that being said, GME is pretty low as well here. But I'm more of a fan of where people are very committed, where the memes are, where the bigger traders are. People like Deep Value, that guy, I'm telling you, if Deep Value dumped his GME, oh my, it wouldn't be good. Does anyone else think that if Deep Value, and you know, I can't say the other word because I guess you'll probably get demonetized or whatever, noting YouTube. Do you think that people would dump GME if he sold? If the Deep Value sold, do you think he'd dump GME? Alex said 7 million diamond hands in Reddit. Yeah, what a growth. I mean, I've been part of Wall Street Bets for quite some time. Like, as in, like, just been floating around for the memes and stuff. But it's, like, years. But realistically, it's, what was sub 1 million for ages and ages. And then all of a sudden, it hit 2.1 million the other day. And then went just ballistic over the weekend. A few people saying, yes, if DFV is the new Warren Buffett. Yep. A few people saying knock is a long. Look, yeah, it's just my opinion, yeah. Like, I think that anybody can have an opinion on anything. I mean, I'm not always right. There's no way. I have some history with these things, but, you know, we're in unprecedented circumstances. I never thought GME, considering what the stock market, what Wall Street did with locking out stocks last week, would hold a 320. And it did. So amazing. Matt I, $4.99. Thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that. First time I've ever seen you donate as well, so thank you very much, man. Can you give a look into top ships? Cheers from Cold Buffalo, New York, USA. I'd love to go there. I would love to go there. So hopefully going all right in Buffalo. So that is top ships. Okay, check that out. Tops. So this stock, oh, this is what is this? It's obviously something that's like one of those VIX things. I actually don't know what this is. Whenever you see a chart like this though, just so you know if this is the particular one, this always means degrading contracts. So if you're ever unsure about, you know, maybe you're trading VIX or something like that, volatility index, and you see something that started really high and it's just been dumping off over time, that's generally due to just incredibly high fees that are built into owning this particular thing. So you got to be very, very careful when you own it because there's just incredibly high fees generally across that. They might be hidden inside the fund though. You're just not sure. So with this one, I think that is a nice little level there. We're on a weekly here. Let's go down to a 2 hour, 1 hour chart. Have a look at how it's been trading. So you had that resistance breakout. I think that was pretty clear from a good little technical level. Resistance at the one, what would that be? About 170 zone. Let's have a look at what this candle actually looks like. I guess a little bit higher, probably about this 180 zone actually. Just where it kind of struggled. 180 came up, sold off. 180, yeah, 180 was the level. So then bounced, went closed up, went back down, 180 reload. This was a bit of an anomaly, and then it's moved back up again. That's pretty nice. So that's good structure there. 180 is a very good buy, kind of a little zone there on this particular one. This is not for me though, this type of thing. It's very terrifying. 250, yeah, it makes sense. Why does it stop at 275? Sometimes what I like to do is if you find a wick, then you say, okay, why did it stop at this level? Is there any logical reason why it stopped there, or was it just a massive squeeze extension? And then what I try to do is I try to figure out whether the stock has been, or this particular thing has been sitting in 50-cent zones or 20-cent zones or anything like that. So we know that $1.80 was clearly a resistance. So then maybe what we'd do is we'd draw up every 20 cents and just see whether those 20-cent increments have been good levels in the past. And if they have, then that's something that we can learn about the psychology of this particular instrument. Every instrument, every stock, every commodity, everything, it all trades differently, but it trades in a similar way, and you'll learn that concept. And when that happens, boom, we have the opportunity to, of course, learn something about how to day trade that or invest in that a bit better. Like Tesla likes gravitating to 50s. That's the kind of thing you focus on as well. This particular thing, I think, would probably struggle at 290 if it got up there. You can see the resistances and the supports, and it gapped through. So it obviously has a struggle at 290. And then the next point of call after that would be something like this, like maybe a $4 or $3.50. But 290 is the next point of call, and there's some strong buying pressure around 180 for the top ships. Thanks very much for that, Matt. Appreciate it. All right, back over to some questions. Tom Chase, US $5. Thank you very much, Tom, giving me money. Didn't even ask a question, so thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate that, man. I need someone to join the trading community. Someone join the Stonk Squad. I want to just see the alert go off one time. Come on, guys. Someone do it. Matthew Tainch, good to have you here as well. Hopefully a few of you guys have been enjoying the fact that we've got some new different kind of diamonds for the Stonk Squad, so that's good. What else we got here? Johnny Bravo, what a nice guy. Tom's looks at tops for someone. Yeah, no, there's no problems with looking at anything, man. I like looking at new stuff and learning new things. You're always learning. There's so many instruments. I've been trading for 12, 13 years. And over that time, I've learned lots of things. One of the things that I can say that most people wouldn't know is, say, in the Australian market here, you think, okay, you place market order and you might have $100,000 worth of something and you buy it, bang, in the market straight away. In Australia, you can trade a top 25 stock. You put $1.5 million and you market that order off, you get flagged. Instantly flagged, instantly blocked, instantly called for manipulation. That's actually what happens. And the reason, and I've done it, I accidentally did it because I was allowed direct liquidity and I placed it on a fairly big stock. And what happens is, like, I mean, it was fine. They blocked it straight away and then they did it. But you never think about these things till you trade them. You'll learn new things all the time. So when you play, yeah, you definitely do learn stuff. I noticed a few people have been definitely saying MP quite a few times. We'll have a look at that one. Let's go back over to the pre-market though. Have a look at what's going on now in the market. Same ones leading through: semiconductors, Tesla, Airbnb. This has been a very interesting one. I know one of the guys in the community was on that. Did you get out of that one, by the way? Was it you, Siddharth? Who had Airbnb? Someone was targeting, and we were talking about this pretty nice area. I think it went and hit it. I saw it the other day. So a few stocks up, mostly green for the morning here. GameStop, the one we're looking at, of course, into the open, still holding really strong considering all of the beatdowns every broker's doing on it. As I mentioned, I had over 10 brokers message me, oh, you can't trade GameStop. You can't do this. You can't do that. Absolute ridiculousness. Why can't I do that? That's what I have to say. Dumb. So we'll look at that MG that we got asked to do. Matthew Tainch says, Australian $5. Welcome, Matthew. This is the most exciting time to be in the markets. Thanks for the content, Tom. I would say this is one of the most exciting times. The most terrifying time, maybe, I'm wondering whether it's the GFC for me. I don't know. When the pandemic hit last year, and was anyone sitting there watching like the terminals in the morning? I wasn't live streaming back then. I didn't even really do YouTube that much back then. But I remember when I was watching those markets just hit the 7.5%. Like every time they were hitting the limit every day for that week. Wow, that was an experience like no other. Even more crazy in some ways than what's happening right now. It's happened before, but I've never seen so many limits get hit on the full market. So here's the MG Mistress Group. We got a request for this one. Nice little support that's going on here. If you're unsure about these kind of levels, we've got $7. Buying pressure coming constantly off there. A little bit of weakness last week. So one of the kind of things that you can do in these situations is if you're unsure whether you go, okay, well, I'm not too confident in buying this kind of pressure. Because also one other thing that can happen is it does this and creates a head and shoulders where you've got left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and it goes down. You can wait for it to kind of cause structure and then break past the previous peak. And then that usually means you don't get in at the low, but you also get to take this little kind of slip from here to here. I heard an interview about that Wolf of Wall Street guy. I'm not a big fan of the Wolf of Wall Street guy, but he said something, and I totally agree with him about trading, and that was that his aim in trading was not to be down here at the low and not to get out up here at the peak, but his aim is to get in when the market participation happens and get out somewhere near the top. So about like, maybe even a third from the top. And as long as he was able to get this snippet, he was more successful getting that snippet. Now, there's a whole bunch of information that goes around that. But yeah, that is in essence what I like to do as well. If I don't want to buy the bottom because I don't believe in the stock that much and I'm trading it, I wait till it breaks past the previous peak. And then I take my position with my stop loss below the lows, etc. And I take it to the previous peak and just underneath that. Dr. Horton, circuit breakers back in Feb, March. Yeah, that was scary, Dr. Horton, absolutely. Chase had a question. Oh, hey, Tom. Thanks, man. Tom Chase. Hey, Tom, first time donating and screwed up the question. What are your thoughts on buying calls on SPXU to hedge the market drop? Okay, so it's definitely an American kind of question there because, of course, you don't have to. There are other ways to hedge the market drop, and you don't necessarily have to do that one. Now, SPXU. So this is a markets backwards, is that right, fund? Yeah, short S&P 500. Is that right? So it's been declining the whole time, yeah. So these backwards funds don't exist in Australia, and we actually would use CFD paper. So you'd usually use paper or puts to do it. Paper or puts are probably the best way, but this is the same thing as CFDs, really. What you're doing is if you buy this position, then of course you're trying to hedge against the market decline. My thought process against hedging from market decline, it generally doesn't pay out that well. One of the kind of option strategies that a lot of people use, and people think this is dangerous, is that they'll say, okay, I'm going to hedge the market. Well, that's fine. You can do that. Buying puts, probably a bit of a chumps game. What I like to do instead is I like to spread the market at a low. I kind of put in what I call a Hail Mary, kind of like an Ackman short, yeah? If you think that the market maybe is getting a little bit toppy, and generally the market will go up longer than you expect. Let's say it heats fever pitch. Let's say you believe right now the market's going to decline. Instead of using something like that, which you totally can do, you can use that, Tom, is you could put a spread somewhere out down below, and you might be able to say, okay, we're looking at SPY, I don't know, 340 or something like that, and then just target like a 320, 340, stack it so that if it came down, it would be protect hedging your kind of position. And if it does come down and crash through, this spread will actually pay a huge, huge amount of multiple, but it's also incredibly cheap to run because you're going to be mostly wrong on hedging. The problem I have with hedging is what happens is the market comes down. You got your hedge in. Very hard for you to pick the bottom. When do you take your hedge out? Then if you see the market come back up and you've still got a hedge in and all of a sudden your whole portfolio is hedged, you have a tendency to close it all. You do not want to do that under any circumstance because then you close all of your good investment work. So I'm not a huge fan of hedging that way. You can do it. I prefer not to. I prefer to use like a spread myself. The other thing that I might do instead of even doing that is I might say, okay, well, maybe I have stocks that I want to buy lower. And instead of even buying the stock, if it's not tech or something, I might just sell a put on it and do it long dated and just collect the premium. So I just do the premium, not leveraged. I do the premium for whatever I want. If I want $50,000 of that stock, then I'll sell the put for $50,000 worth of that stock, bring in a guaranteed percentage. Maybe it's 10%, because right now the Greeks are pretty high. And yeah, I'm happy to do that. If I get executed on the stock, cool. If I don't, well, I made a guaranteed 10%. Obviously, I can lose a lot more because the stock could keep going down with a sold put. But yeah, cool. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. Go back over to some of the other things that we're looking at here. Still got the silver, 29.46. We're 12:37 a.m. my time, so we're about a little bit under an hour till it open now. I'm really looking forward to this open. I want to see AMC and GME so bad. I really, really want to see them open. I want to see how the hold happens. I want to see silver as well. So silver, we talked about it, 30, the critical level. It's also a monthly R2, it looks like at this point. Monthly R2. Huh. Right where it hit. Well, that's annoying. But yes, if we get through 30, we know through our analysis before, we'll get rid of the pivots for a second. We know that when it gets through 30, silver goes mental. Last time it went through 30, bang, all the way up to those previous highs that were formed back in the 70s into 80s area. So silver, it's all about the 30s today, guys, if you want to go with that. Oscar says, NOC isn't on the same level as GME. I'm not going to say that rasp bit, Oscar. Oscar wants to see the open real bad too. Yeah, I think a lot of us definitely want to see that. You sing a song or something, Jagzilla? I'm not sure what you're doing there. Don't buy silver, says Luca. Johnny Bravo says you can also sell calls against your shares, Tom Chase, but it caps your gains. Yes. Also in the US, I mean, it's been very POV. I use a lot of covered calls, but covered calls have been very tough. In a recession like what we're seeing, and then we see kind of like a massive V-shaped recovery, covered calls can get you in a ton of problems. But it's a good way to hedge if you believe the market is totally tapped out. Just quickly checking out something here. And I'll be right back. I'm just quickly checking on an update. I wanted to see this update. Okay. So quite a question coming in here from Matthew Tainch, Australian $5. Do you like leaps? Okay, do I like leaps? Let me just quickly look them up and go through it with everyone. All right, let's type that in. Okay, here we go. Let's do some edumacating on leaps. I don't know why that's there. All right, so here we've got long-term equity anticipation securities. So basically, these are longer than, 1 year, I think they are. Generally, long-term, yeah, so these are the options. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really think too much about these, Matthew. I mean, basically, it's like You know, to me, warrants also is another type of thing that people use. From these type of perspective, if you're going to have like a longer term option, I'm a big fan of using them when it suits you. So as an example, let's say I want to buy CSL right now, an Australian stock. I think it's at fair value, but I don't think it's amazing. I also don't think the upside's more than 10% for the year. If I can get 10% for the stock or over for selling that put for the year and not owning the stock anyway and just having the cash sitting there, then I might consider doing so. So that's the case scenario where I might be like, well, I don't think the gains are that great. I also kind of like holding the stock and I think it's a fair value. That would be where I do it. So to answer the question, yeah, I think they're fine, but I think cost could be a big problem there on those ones there, Matthew. Quite a lot of people getting into options coming through here as well. Oh, WebCitics, welcome back. Silver has more value, worth at least $350, and is the biggest short worldwide, not just in the US. WebCitics is back. Haven't seen you here for a little while there, Web. Good to have you here. By the way, thanks very much to everyone that's come out today. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for the donations. I just need a new member to the community. I want to see that thing alert. Web, you got to join us, man. Appreciate everything. And appreciate on the road to 30,000. Let me just have a quick look here, actually. We must have done... We're doing really well this week. It's been amazing, the support from the community. Look at that. We could almost hit it this stream, you know. 30,000. 29,462 right now. Wow. That's awesome. I never thought we'd get to 30,000, you know. But we did. Now we have to get to 50,000 after that. We're almost there. So thanks very much, guys. So we've got the BlackBerry. We've followed that one through. Go to the GME now. We haven't actually looked on the chart for some time. 324. Still really holding up there in the pre-market, which is awesome. CSP coming in with Canadian $6.99. Hi, Tom. Do you feel this pre-market rally will follow through? I have a tendency to think it won't. Monday has notoriously been strong in the futures over the last kind of couple of crashes. Let's have a quick look here actually and see what's been going on with the US 500 futures. Let's go to the daily, have a think about some of these pullbacks. So we had here, let's get these little calendars up here. So this was the 21st, and the 21st was fully rejected. So if we go back through time, 21st actually was the Monday. So we got the full rejection there and it held, okay? So that would basically go against what I was saying then. This was the 4th of Jan. 4th of Jan, Monday held again, okay? And then what's the other one? 15th of Jan. Friday into a Monday bullish movement. So every one of these last ones has been bullish on the uptake in the market. This one here, the first time we've actually had a sequence lower though. It's the only time. Every one of those was still in the trend over the, like we have the daily, you can see it here. Where's my moving averages? There we are. Get this one up, US 500. Every single one of these was bouncing off that 20 moving average. This is the first time we've gotten through that. First time we've had the sequence where we've got the peak coming into the trough, coming into the lower peak and the lower trough. I tend to think that lightning bolt is pretty powerful. It's also coming off the 20 moving average here, which acted as resistance last time on the futures. So, wow, I'm going to be looking at this one very closely. If we do get a bullish movement above this 37.82 though, you'd have to think that it's going to go long again. You'd have to think it's going long again. I have this tendency to think it's not. But it's a great question and it's very, very tough. Usually I have a better answer for you guys, but this is a little bit bigger than I expected today in the futures market. I thought that this rejection here, we kind of go back up here during the futures and then find some resistance around this zone. And the candle's not closed yet. The 4 hour's not closed yet because we should have selling pressure coming off this area. What is this area? We'll just put a horizontal line there. Right on that zone. 37.40 should be selling pressure for the market. $42 for a physical ounce. You serious? Dr. Delbert says $42. No. Is that not American dollars, surely? That's some insane movement if that's true. $42 an ounce. This is the Australian one. I think the Perth Mint sold out, actually. Yeah, I think the Perth Mint sold out today. From what I heard, I believe they literally were limiting the ability for you to even buy silver today. They were like, oh, you can't buy silver. Yep, unavailable. Look at that sweet kookaburra. You want the kookaburra coin? Yeah, all sold out. These ones not, but that's a special edition. Pretty much anything that's any value is sold out, and the rest, the Homer Simpson coin, is not even available. Yeah, that's way too much per ounce, if that's true. 31.50 USD. Yeah, that's the one I thought it was, about 31.50. Philippe says, mate, how do we trade on Webull from Australia? I don't believe you can, Philippe. I have a deal with, well, it's not even a deal. It's just like some referral code. If you go and click the button down below, you get 4 stocks or something if you sign up. But I don't use Webull. I just have it because it's not bad for the pre-market. And I kind of like the fact that this stuff exists for retail traders. I think it's really cool, the technology that's come out. You'd be surprised. When I do more of a commercially kind of trades during the week, the software we use is trash. Like trash. Terrible. Almost worse than this type of stuff. We still use Iris and things. Iris is not good. All the mints are out of silver. Yeah, quite a lot of them are. Yeah, there's definitely... I don't know about buying like bullion right now in terms of the cost. I mean, maybe like a bullion ETF or something would be probably the better way. Bullion ETF. Because the thing is, the bullion is, they're charging like such a high spread. People forget that if you're going to hold it, that's cool. And if you're part of the movement, you're going to hold it for a long time. But if you're holding it to make money, and that's your main aim, very difficult to sell it back properly. All right, let's refresh this chart, see what's going on here. Looks like the market may be frozen on this one. Another thing is interesting is there are going to be a platinum move here. Notice how platinum's coming up to the resistance break here. A lot of people talking about platinum. 1135. I almost kind of want to look at platinum on the charts, actually. Do we have platinum? Strong resistance level up here. Just a good kind of TA zone. Series of kind of higher lows coming through with the crashes that have happened recently. It's putting pressure on that peak right now. Classic case of if we do break through, remember it's body close above because there was 2 rejections here that didn't quite get through. Body close above, comes back down, retests the 1, 2, 3, possibly higher for platinum. If we go through time, go to the monthly, you can see it's still quite low from where it was during its 08 highs. I mean, platinum's basically half the price of where it was before the crash. And even before its 2011 1800 move. So very interesting structures going on here. You can just see that point. Long leg doji as well, indecision candle. Often when you bust one of these type of candles and you bust and close above, it shows decision back in the market. Think of long leg dojis like this, where you've got the little body in the middle. They're pivot candles. Effectively, the market's pivoting. It's thinking about the next move. It goes through. You always hear me talk about this. When we're talking about market psychology, guys, look at the candle and think of it more as just, you know, it's psychology. It's a war. This is literally war on the candle. And when we think of it that way, it changed the game for me in investing. I think of each candle as a story. And when you think of it that way, you start to piece together what the market's really telling you about the information. NAS 100, yeah, we can do a NAS 100, absolutely. So we're now only about 40 minutes, so the countdown is beginning here for market open. I think that's pretty exciting. So make sure you get your coffees, get your Red Bull. If you're from Australia, you need probably 3 coffees. I need a few as well, I think, but that's okay. I'm hyped on adrenaline, so I'm ready for it. Doesn't matter. But yes, Nasdaq, long leg doji here as well on the Nasdaq, pivoting around this zone on the monthly here. Go down to the weekly. Target pretty much is set for where buying pressure would happen. If we did see further selling pressure, we know this 20 exponential is the place for it. So that's going to be a very interesting zone. No engulfing or anything on the weekly from the top down. 50 exponential was reached, buying a little bit of pressure off that. We can see here 1.45% up. So really testing the 20 from below right now and putting pressure on that zone. So it's crunch time. Basically, it's crunch time. It has to find resistance here if we're going to find further bearish pressure. And anything above the 13.2 is going to trigger just more buying pressure, and the correction's over for now. So it's a very pivotal day here. This Monday is super important. Even though it looks like it's all green, all good, it's even more than that. Yep, we definitely looked at AMD before. Why does everyone want Nokia so bad? Is it moving or something? This one's open. It's not moving that much. Obviously, Nokia, the one you're talking about, is the one in America, I guess. But it doesn't really matter which one we're looking at. 4.95, 8.55%. I mean, I don't really find that too exciting. I still think this is a super dangerous one because of there's more value in it. So maybe people are moving there. But I think that shows you the commitment was not there. Klaus says, FX Evolution, could you please check some online meta dealer? Do they have inventory or they sold out? Sorry for bad English. On metal dealer. Yeah, we definitely did have a look at some metal dealers. So the community definitely can confirm that quite a lot of metals are out. Quite a lot of metals out right now. Oscar, you're not allowed to watch either of those, man. If you're going to watch like investment kind of news, it's usually about the Bloomberg terminal, but I'd just say just come watch our channel. It's all good. Dr. Horton says people should be forced to use Nokia phones if they want to invest in NOK. I haven't seen a Nokia phone in a while. That was a story for the ages, wasn't it? Reminds me, I haven't even looked at our Apple yet. But Nokia just absolutely lost. They dropped the ball to Apple. Apple iPhone came out. BlackBerry had its thing. And then it was just all over. No one really even caught them. It was just, then everyone went Android. Craziness. So trend lines coming up here for Apple. We've got a trend line coming through. That's where the buying pressure did start at the end of the market there. There is a strong trend line. I think this is definitely very valid. Trough, 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 trough. Buying pressure comes off. I definitely think fair level, fair zone. Previous little resistance becoming support as well. Nice actual sell-off there. You got a basically a, what was it, about a $12 discount off the peak. We know it's a solid stock, so pretty popular. If it breaks through this trend line, where to next? Probably back down to the 120 kind of area, and this will most likely act as some buying pressure here. 122, 120. I remember it wasn't all that long ago we were there. So if the selling pressure continues, this trend line is well worth watching on Apple. Definitely one to watch. Pre-market's not that strong for it either. 133.91. Actually a little bit lower than you would think. 133.91. Nokia had those face plates you could rotate in and out. Yeah, my phone had that. I had the face plates. Oh man, that shows our age, doesn't it? If we were using Nokia, that shows our age. Just give me 1 sec, guys. I'm just going to get a drink of water. I'm just going to quickly pop that in. Very good. So what else have we got going on around the market? Anyone got anything interesting they've been looking at? Bitcoin still holding just below that 34,000 resistance. Covered that a few times. Had a look at Apple. Might have a look at Microsoft. It's been a while. Still maintain. Oh, that's actually coming down to a nice level, isn't it? After that earnings report. That's a strong breakout too. So this is one we had on from last couple of weeks. We had that channel range for Microsoft. It broke out due to earnings. It's pulling back down now. Probably makes sense as well with all of those kind of correction phases that if the market continued to correct, it would come back here to the 228. Resistance, resistance, resistance becomes support. 20 moving average comes and hits with it. One of our favorite types of things to see. Very, very nice. Target on this one could be 250, 255 plus. JB Seattle US $5. Breaking out of 3-day wedge is the elephant in the room. What for, JB? What for? Give me the stock, man. XRP continues to go. Oh, Jesus. Whew. Not good. Oh, the dump. Did someone watch our stream just then and they decided, yeah, it is pump and dump? Wow, that's sad, isn't it? Hits just under that 80 and then just completely destroys itself. Let's have a look at the smaller time frame here. This happened during the stream. 15-minute chart. Wow. Nasty, nasty, nasty. The evil whales of XRP have come in. Does that mean the Dogecoin is also dropping? Usually they kind of link together a little bit there. A little bit of drop, yeah. XRP, wow, that's nasty. Oof. Oscar says, yeah, I'm here. I'm not leaving, so happy I found your channel. Thanks, man. No, look great. Look, we hit all-time records today. We're hitting 1,110 people. 1,136 actually right now coming into what I think is going to be a historic day in trading between retail and Wall Street. Retail and Wall Street. It's going to be very, very cool. This is just, you can see how dangerous some of these pump dumps are. Understand the vehicle that you're trading. And when we do that, bang, we know, of course, straight away something that's going to happen. Basically, we know that there is going to be that pump and dump. And it's the same thing with silver. You know, right now, silver's tending up. And if it gets through 30, then it could be incredibly explosive. But come that 48, 50, if it ever gets there, the hell will be broken loose on silver. And it will get punished. It will get punished around that zone. Let's have a quick look at the coin market cap for the day, just because it's always interesting to see that. XRP, yep, now declined. Everything kind of down a little bit. Obviously the Doji up a little bit as well, but yeah. Market cap just hovering around that $1 trillion balance. Wow. I was looking at the market cap over time when you click on it, and it's amazing to think that when the hype fell off. So a lot of people said, oh, this is the end of Bitcoin. I can't get in. I can't make any money after this one. And then hype died. Everyone wrote it off. It went down to a market cap of $120 billion. And that wasn't even that much later. That was basically a year on. So will it be the same thing again? Will it have that kind of, not maybe this low. I don't think it ever goes that low again. But will it just like decline after a nice bullish run? Maybe not. I feel like this is the uprising of retail community and just generally people against the system. And a lot of people are going to move money into cryptocurrencies just because they're pissed off. Pavel says, I'm a gorilla. By the way, new emotes are dope. Absolutely, man. We've got some new emotes coming in here. Thank you very much. Does this one even work? Wow, that GIF is so small. I wish on YouTube they'd fix these the ability for you to put some of these emotes through when you send them. Because actually that should technically be a moving rocket and it's sent as a GIF, but it doesn't seem to work. So I'll fix that one later. Yeah, we looked at NOC. Antonio says, I do not see how you can go long silver and long JP Morgan at the same time. Well, we're not really longing JP Morgan right now. If you're talking about liking financials for 3 to 6 months, yeah, that's just the standard kind of move that we do. But I'm not saying it's with everything. I'm not like, oh, yes, I love these stocks. I don't love those stocks. Not like I like the GameStop coming into today. So again, BlackBerry looking at a 14.78. AMC right now coming into what is probably going to be a historic fight day. Pre-market $16. Nice. $16, guys. Very good. Can we hit 20 today? This is a bit stronger than it was before. That's cool. First Majestic. Let's have a look at that one. Sitting probably still around 25, I would think. 24.18. So it was a little bit hyperactive before. Remember, resistances back up here around this 24. So 24.25 is going to be heavy resistance for this AG stock if you're in that one. Oh, JP Morgan, yeah, they're nasty. They definitely manipulated silver. They got basically fined for it, didn't they? Here's, ooh, wow, here we go. Today might be getting better. That's cool. Rejection off the 20 in the futures coming into the market open. We're now only 27 minutes away. 37.60, rejections here. This should be the battle zone around this 37.40. So we'll continue to watch this one. Interesting times. Sendal is up 20% pre-market. SNDL. Sundial Growers. This stock's been going pretty crazy recently. This is a stock of the favorite, I think. Very nice kind of zones here that were being bought off. We've looked at this one a few times. Obviously, it's got some strong resistance sitting somewhere around this $1.50, I would think, just psychologically. But it's well off that right now. It's going to open at the dollar. You would think any of these smaller stocks, $1, $1.50, 50-cent increments are going to be very strong sell-buy levels. So always be particularly careful in these types of things as well. Agricultural stocks are cool, but that one I'm not too sure about. ASM being requested here, 142%. $2.98. Wow. I assume you're in this one there. 141% on the market. Very nice. Huge breakout. Very similar to a lot of the silver miners here in Australia. I think silver miners were definitely one of the best plays for a lot of people in terms of raw percentage over the real kind of thing. You know, it's another way to get access to silver. You don't have the crazy holding cost. And of course, the payoffs are real. So 295, previous resistances, again, it's hitting that 16, 14, 11 kind of peak-ish zone. $3 seems to be peak. All these resistances are hitting at the same time as silver isn't even making a new high. So just some crazy FOMO coming in here. Nice one. Do I think GME is going to open higher? Look, I would have thought GME comes straight in with a squeeze. I think it comes straight in with a squeeze. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. But I feel like these bannings are taking its toll. 311 pre-market. Bannings are taking the toll a little bit here. I know a lot of people that were going to buy 1 or 2 shares, they're not going to do it now. They can't do it. Their account can't do it. Problem is, you times that by thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that can't buy 1 or 2 shares. That is the movement. These people don't care because they're putting in 3 or 4 shares and they're just going to sit there and diamond hands the crap out of them. But they're not being able to do it. I think that's a big problem for GME this week. That's why I really need to see this open. It could be explosive. We're going to have it on this chart. Tesla pre-market. Yep. It's one I've been looking at. 817, 818 pre-market here. We'll go back over to our pre-market Webull. Pre-market up, still the same kind of things. Tesla 2.86 was up about 3 and a bit at the start of this session. Coming down a little bit here as the market turns around. In those futures, we saw it rejecting and coming back down to the 3740 zone. Zoom, GameStop, pretty much the kind of bottom back end. But I think the open is really key here. I'm going to be watching this open very intensely. Theodore Johnson, I'm new here. He says, do you pull up news channels on your stream or should I have a look at Bloomberg? Bloomberg on a second tab. Depends what you mean by news channels. We'll have a look at stories. And if there are news stories, but one of the things I like to do, I don't really like reading news too much, but if I do want to browse the news, again, time savings everything when it comes to trading. So check out finviz.com, go to news, and you can see all of the big websites here. And if you're looking at something, let's say we want to look at silver, you can search silver and you'll see all the articles that have come up with silver. Maybe there's some blogs on the right-hand side here. Sometimes maybe you want to read one of those. It's really, really good to get some information. So that's what I generally do. But yeah, this kind of mass media stuff, I'm not too much of a fan. It often hurts our psychology in trading. And what you're reading in the price action is the best thing. We know, because the price action held up, that people trading GME were incredibly committed to the cause on Friday. Now we also do know that, of course, they've been banned a lot from trading. So will they hold it now on the Monday is the question. I was pretty impressed with the commitment. We saw in Nokia, the commitment was terrible. Devastator says Wall Street bets equals news. Well, there's definitely some great memes there. Dave G says at FX Evolution, Tom, Yojendra has been asking patiently every so often about Bank Nifty. All right, Yojendra. I didn't see it, so you can't blame me. Bank Nifty. Look at that. This is the index, obviously, in India. 4.74 off the bottom. Huge pull. Wow. Right off that 52, Yojendra. This is a crazy move that's most likely led by a huge amount of stimulus. This could only be a stimulus move. So I assume there's a budget, as you said before, or something. I don't follow this market closely enough. I think it's really, really, really too heavy in terms of the move that's happened recently. You can see here, you want to talk about indices. We talk about the Nasdaq. How about the Bank Nifty? Wow. 7,500 all the way up to 14,700. They know how to pump and potentially dump. In the history of this position, of this particular index though, it's often been pretty big moves followed by pretty standard corrections. What's the correction here? Get the fib retracement correction on this. 38.2. Okay. So it doesn't correct super deep when it corrects. Often it must be pretty much held up by the government. I think this is all about policy and less about technicals. Last week we were talking about it coming back down to this level here, 13,000. Yeah. Don't know about this one, man. I'd have to know the policy and then focus on that. How's silver looking now? 29.40, pretty much the same area. It's been struggling with the 29.50 today. Really struggling with that zone. If we go down to the smaller time frames, have a look at it, you'll see what's been happening here. Lots of rejections just below the 30. Huge amount of sell contracts here. There'll be a lot of options there as well. Huge amounts of options sitting around silver right on that $30. Got the buying kind of pressure coming through here at the 29s, bottom end of the 29s, and then most of it hovering around the zone. But again, I think 29.50 is a bit of a battleground. Silver likes its 50s. It's been hovering around that 29.50, unable to close above. So we're looking for at least a 1 hour close above the 29.55 here to show us that there is commitment of the big bulls. Commitment of the people buying every coin in the world. 29.50. We'll be watching that into the open very closely. Scar says, out of FX Evolution, thoughts on FSR GME? Well, GME we've talked about quite a lot and we'll continue to do so, so I won't go over that right now. FSR Fisker. Well, I don't know about this one. Go to the daily. Huge support here at 1450. I don't know what to say about this one, man. If this is it, this is crazy. This is trading very crazy. So there's resistances up here. Wicks breakthrough there will trigger probably more buying potential. And the support here is quite strong, around the 1450. Yeah, it certainly is dropping. It's basically pushing a huge amount of rhetoric around silver, GameStop, AMC. That's pretty much all they're riding right now. Obviously, look, it's just whatever gets clicks a lot as well. XRP continues to fall, does it? Yeah. Oops. Let's go to XRP. Go with Tether. It's okay. Wow, yeah. That dump is pretty fierce. If this closes like that as well, quite bearish. Yeah, this has never been a good one. I've never liked XRP for this reason. The pump dumps on it are just way too severe. So we're now only about, what is it, 15, 16, 17 minutes away now from the open. So we're definitely getting very keen now on some of these stocks. Starting to see probably the futures really tighten into their real trading ranges rather than just kind of fake paper trading before that. So we will check that out very, very soon. SRNE. This stock has been requested. Sorrento Therapeutics. Nice breakout. Consolidation above the $12. Now we're trading $14 pre-market. So quite a nice little pull there. All I can say is where it closed, probably there was buying pressure. If it continues its move up, possibly back to the resistance of 19. But it makes sense that it probably just cracks that and keeps going just because it stopped just below that $20 psychological. This is very tough to say anything specific other than $12 was, you know, a roll reversal zone coming from resistance to support. We're in the middle of nowhere zone land right now, man, on this one. IDEX. All right, we'll do that. We've got 16 minutes here coming into the market open, so we'll go check some out. Thank you again to 1,110 people that are joining us on the stream. We've had a total of 16,360 playbacks since we've started. All-time record. So this is a absolute historical Monday. We're going to see some crazy action, I believe, on GameStop instantly out of the gates. We're going to watch that in AMC pretty closely along with silver. I really want to see that all very much so. And it's only 16 minutes away. IDEX coming in with the resistance, 2.84, so 398. Some pretty strong rejections there. Let's go to the daily, see where it's been in the past. Nice trend. Logarithmic makes it a little bit hard sometimes here. It's been following, I guess, a 20. I'd probably just say pullbacks to the 20 moving average. It's really the only thing I could see here of any significance. Oh, I hate that so much. I bet your trading views upgrading my account. They were slack. You know that when you they upgrade your trading account when you stream and they give you a free one, which is cool. But they limit you to 3 months. And I ran out in the weekend. I messaged them. It's taken them 24 hours to give it back to me. Look, see, now all of these things are going to do this to me. How annoying. All right, there we go. That should get rid of it. Oh my God. There we go. Got rid of those ones. So AMC now, let's take a look. Pre-market 16.13, very nice, 21%. Very cool. Every $5 counts on this one. Remember, $20 is going to be the king battleground for the sellers. Will the buyers have commitment past $20? This is going to be the zone where I think AMC is going to struggle today. And if it gets past there, wow, then we could be in for some very nice squeezing. $20, definitely the key point there. GME, 309 pre-market, 4.92% down. Not too bad. Still above 300, positive signs. 14 minutes away now. Peter Grace says, just checked my bullion dealer and silver stock levels are seriously depleted. Gold is rising in dollars and selling well tonight. So that's coming from Peter. So basically we are seeing definitely a huge amount of purchasing coming through there of the real bullion. Rosario says, sorry, XRP sell true. Will it never rise again? I think that it has a lot of problems. I mean, you've got the suing stuff. I mean, what else? What have you got positive really for XRP? There's a lot of cryptos now around and there's a lot of problems with it. Plus it's known to pump and dump, which just means it kind of becomes that evil self-fulfilling prophecy on the coin. SPX, yep. So we've been looking at the US 500 coming in, and we'll continue to watch that 4-hour candle here in the market open. We need to go to one with our moving averages on it. Here it is. So we're watching that 37.40 very closely. Even though we're opening up and well off the lows during the open to this morning in the Asian session, this is the battleground zone between the buyers and the sellers right now. This zone here. So again, we get a close of the 4-hour down and bearish. All of a sudden, you're going to see a commitment for the sellers again. Apple, we definitely checked out. Joe, you can go back through and have a look at that one. Oscar says, crypto is scary. It is if you don't understand it. And you've got to be thinking like it is all or nothing in crypto often. Brand Barb says, isn't this silver news all a ploy to get us off AMC GME? Oh, look, I don't know. I mean, I can't even speculate on that. I think silver's been underquoted for a while. So you can go back 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was saying the same thing. I think the monthly candles, the TA actually was primed for a move back up to 30, regardless of silver squeeze or anything. That I think it was going to happen anyway. That being said, it's happening faster. Is it a ploy? Who knows? I think, though, it makes sense. If you pushed huge amounts of money into physical, it would put stress on the system. So we're now only 11 minutes away. Let's check again the pre-market here. See the stocks, Beijing. These are all 21 billion or bigger. Tesla up there now, 2.83. So again, mostly coming off. GameStop, 3% down. 80 Water, $5 American. Just a whole bunch of rockets to the moon coming in. Obviously, I would say you're holding one of these. Either a BlackBerry, an AMC, a GME. And you probably got the diamond hands there, 80 Water. I really think the biggest threat to GME right now is maybe not even the brokers. It's Deep Value holding his position. Deep Value. DFV has to hold the position to hold the diamond hands for everybody. Which tool am I using to check this pre-market? This is just Webull. And what I'm doing is I'm setting it for 20 billion plus. So I can get the results under, and I don't care about EPS because some of the stocks, even in the top 500, like if you look here, you'll instantly cut a few out. So I like having all of them because I understand some have bad EPS. Amazon's a stock chart that we should be looking at and talking about though. I think Amazon is, while it's not as interesting as the others right now, it's at this key zone and key level where it's been struggling for some time. So we talked about this the other day. We talked about this kind of channel pennant up and how it's been sitting in a range for some time. Look how long Amazon's been hovering for. It's been actually hovering since its highs of August last year and even July. So it ran all the way to July and then just did nothing. So it's a very interesting stock coiling into a range. If eventually we do see a breakout, there could be some value coming back into it. It's unlike this stock to sit for too long in the new world. Had that hover, we've got to remember, Amazon was actually trading in 2018 at $2,000. Is it a lot higher now? Sure. But statistically, based on the other stocks that have gone mental, it's actually not even that crazy. Andre said, I would believe nothing on the net right now. They are trying too hard to convince people this is not going to have the effect. Joseph says silver isn't GME. Silver will never be over 100. Yeah, I think silver over 100 is definitely incredibly hard. I think you'll see that the $50 price target, that kind of just underneath that, is going to act as a very strong resistance. Hey, look, we could all be wrong. But that is going to be a tough area. Vyong says knock broke out of the $5. That's good. See if the hold commitment can stay there. I think any of these markets should be about, so 497, and then obviously the one that's trading is there. 8 minutes now before market open. We better set up a couple of these charts. We've got to set up. Oh, damn it! They don't set these stupid things for me. Kind of annoyed about that, guys. Message the dude, and I don't get my premium. I've only got the pro now because I had the sub for it. Oh well. We'll have to just switch between them. We'll have to add them into a watch list. Okay, we'll have AMC here. And then we'll have our GME here. 315 pre-market here. And what else will we have? Probably add them on the right-hand side. Plus that one on. Plus GME on. Getting ready for it. And I think we will plus on also AG. Like to see First Majestic come in. My own personal interest there a little bit. All right. Cool. We're prepared. We're ready. 7 minutes away now. Futures market. Back over to that. Let's have a look what is going on in the futures market. Get rid of this chart. CSP, Canadian $5. Hi, Tom. What website were you using to track Reddit meme stocks? Thanks. Oh, yeah, there's a good one. So Unbiased Stock was what we were using, CSP. I will share that with everyone now. Oops, put it in the wrong area. There we go. Unbiasedstock.com. It's quite cool just to be able to look at Google trending stocks, Twitter trending stocks, sentiment screeners, etc. And then being able to click on something and then see what's going on. So you can see here, the last update, Google trending stocks. It looks like AMC has actually overtaken GME. What were we saying before? Pretty strong. You can see Knox down here. GME, AMC has now overtaken that from that aspect. And of course, we can select Wall Street Bets, last 6 hours if you want to, whatever it is, and then compare the numbers. I think for some reason, it's not loading the last hour up. You can see the numbers and the change score and everything, so it's quite cool. 5 minutes now away from open. We definitely looked at Sendle before ARAQ, so you can go back through, have a look at that one. What stocks have we got coming through here? So we've got AMC now trading 16.72. Again, 20 becomes the key battleground for that. GME, the key battleground is holding the damn thing above 300, I think. Holding the line above 300 is the key for this one. Silver still, moving up here on silver, 29.61. All right, that's good. Still haven't closed an hour. I think we're going to have to stay around for the next half an hour for sure. I need to see this one. Get up. Everything get up. GME to the moon. AMC to the moon. Silver to the moon. BlackBerry, sure, we'll go to the moon there as well. And AG. Yeah, Nokia, you can have Nokia mooning as well. We checked out Nokia before. We saw that it was going up. And that's good, but I just, again, I'm horrified with the commitment of the buyers last week in the squeeze. 4 minutes coming in here to the market open. What have we got going on with the US 500? So we'll get rid of the pivots. We don't need those. Oh, actually, new pivots open on the futures here. I forgot to mention that before. Just quickly, pivots important on the monthly pivots for the very, very important. We are actually going to open right around the central. You can't see it here, but that blue line there is the central. The market loves to touch the central and often bounce each way through that one. So we've got central opening straight away here for the market. 37.47. R1 for this month on the, at least the futures, we should be doing on the SPX, 38.29. We'll do that once the market opens. We'll load actually another chart up. US 500. Cool. And we'll continue to watch this coming into the market open. So it's all about to happen here, guys. We're going to get a lot of opens coming in. Very exciting stuff. I'm pretty keen for today. GameStop, 4% down, 312, 311 into the market open here. All right. Are we ready? I think we are. Big screen for GME. We're going to go to 1 hour chart to watch this one open. Everyone vote for the stock. What do you think we should be watching to see this thing go on? A few people saying it's all about the AMC. Answering a whole bunch of questions. Graham Newland says lots of divergence on US 500 monthly. There is, Graham. Absolutely there is. That's towards the bearish side that he's talking about. Yes, we forgot to even mention the earnings calendar this week, but we do have it up. Where is my earnings calendar? Always get the earnings whispers one. It's just really cool to have these. After close Tuesday, Alphabet, Amazon, whole bunch of things coming through. But we are about to see this market open. We've got 2 minutes counting down here, only a minute and a half. Spotify as well. If you have any of these stocks and you've forgotten about it, always good to check this. I'll always put it in the weekend videos as well. So remember, if you haven't already, we got an all-time record, 1279 people here. So coming into this historic morning, definitely subscribe. Check out our weekend videos as well. And of course, we'll be making content this week. AMC, 27%, 1687 here, 129. GME. A lot of people want to see AMC on the open. All right, we can see AMC on the open. I don't mind. I don't care if it's GameStop or AMC. I can see it over here anyway. Here we go, guys. 40 seconds, 38 countdown. Probably one of the most exciting streams we've had in a while in terms of just pure market anticipation for can we hold these stocks up with the diamond hands. To the moon. CDE up 40% on Friday's close. Quite a few people doing well there. Here's the countdown. So we've got 16 seconds. 15. All right. We are ready. I am ready. I've got everything ready and we're just absolutely going to smash that bell. Here we go. And we're open. Bang. Okay, so we've got $17 on the open here for the AMC. We've got our authentic bell ringing sound, which is... That's a beautiful sound. 17 bucks here on the open. GME looks like it's holding 316s, kind of like off to the races here. 318 for GME. AMC still holding around that 17 kind of bracket. AG opened at 23.80. So not bad. Not bad. 24 bucks for AG. Congrats to people that were holding that silver. Silver now trading 29.72 on the open. Big move there, I reckon. 29.79. Wow. We actually have to watch silver if it keeps going up there. 30 bucks. I'd love to see it just whack into that. So 29.70 there. We've got 16 bucks. So it's coming off a little bit. A few sellers coming through on AMC. GME straight under 300, unfortunately. 290. 290. 15 now for AMC. All right. GME is tanking a little bit. Yeah. It's just so tough to keep this stock when everyone bans your ability to trade it. I'm telling you, you need the people that trade 3 or 4 stocks. You have to have those guys. If you don't have them, we don't have enough people just being, oh, I don't care about that money. I'm going to hold it just to stuff the system. 287 now, still 16 for AMC. AG traders still very, very happy with this. I think you can be very happy with your silver stocks. I'd assume most of them are going strong. Silver dumping a little bit, 29.50 now. Still struggling around that 29.60 zone. So I think the first 15 minutes is going to be a bit of a battleground here. Dollar index trading at 90.80 as well. So it's starting to really creep up there to that 91 resistance we talked about before. Not too much tanking here on GME. It's been more wild before in the opens. It's been, you know, that kind of like 10, 20, $30 chunks really, really quickly. Back above 300. It's probably a few of you executing through. Nice. Yeah, we didn't put knock in this list, did we? We better put knock in the list. Let me get rid of some of these things. $6.58, and we've got to add the BlackBerry. No one's even talking about the BlackBerry anymore. That's not a good sign. That's probably why it's only up 1%. So GME still holding around this 300 kind of structure. Can we get above it? Go to the 1 minute here on GME just to see these candles. So the shorts came in straight away with a few people, obviously paper hand, selling the damn thing. Keep watching it. Market trading at 37.47. So there's not too much interesting going on in the market. We'll go to the Webull one just quickly here. Click the percentage changes. Semiconductors ended up being even better than the pre-market. 5%. Where's our Tesla? Tesla holding 3, so that's pretty strong. All of the chips doing really, really well today. Things that aren't doing well, of course, GameStop, Moderna. Not too much negativity coming through the market. GameStop's just really the full kind of, I guess, war that will be going on for the next couple of hours. Expect to see decent amount of volatility. SPY dumping, 37.54. Not really too sure if it's dumping there. Siddharth upset, didn't get filled in GME. He was trying to trade that one, got 290 buy. Or you might have just got filled, Siddharth. Bang, you got filled, man. So we know Siddharth's in now. He's in at 290. So we can root for him to go up here. Silver opened at 27.63. Oh, yes. SLV, yes. But silver spot opened 29.73. Slightly different. My broker froze me out. It says Double J Studio. That's not good. So we're trying to hold the line here at the 290 for GME. AMC still trading around that $16 bracket. BlackBerry kind of hovering. All these squeeze stocks, really AMC is probably the standout. AG's come off quite a lot as well. 24, 25, I think it was 25 pre-market before, now only 23. Still, I think it's a nice hold there. Silver, 29.75. We have to go over to silver here for a minute because we could see something pretty historical if we get through these zones. Silver 30, we've talked about this a few times tonight. I just want to reiterate this for you guys. We sold off 29.80, failed to get a new high. We've spiked in the Asian session above. But if you go through history and you think there's only a few times in history that silver's ever been above this zone. We have $30 getting cracked, massive run up to the 50 bracket. And then, of course, we have the famous squeeze that happened that ended up bankrupting them, where when it cracked past 30, it was parabolic anyway. And then it hit that 50. So this is one of the first times, if we do get silver up above here, they'll be seeing it for some time. 296 here on GME. So Siddharth, you might be pretty happy. Kevin says, smash the like button, guys. Let's take FX Evolution YouTube to the moon. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Look, this is absolutely exceeding my expectations. How many people? We're really closing in on that 30,000 subs as well. 29,526. So thanks so much to everyone out there. 303 coming back in with the purchases. What do you guys, which broker are you using in the US to purchase GameStop? Which ones are still allowing it? Paval says, I need to practice my auctioneer's voice. True, man. 350. Tesla 821 there. Pretty exciting. $17 for AMC almost. So the crowd is coming back in. GME now trading at 305. That's nice to see. BlackBerry, Nokia still really struggling there a little bit. Silver trading 29.80. Thanks so much for everyone coming out. A lot of people saying don't buy silver. Hedge fund scam. I get it, guys. I get it. But still, it's a monument. It's a very important area if it gets through 30. From just a technical analysis perspective, it's very important. People coming back in with the pressure. Imagine if we could get back above $400 on GME today. Imagine that. SPX trading 37.54. So little change there on the SPX since the open. It's just been about these squeeze stocks. Oh, silver 29.84. Oh, good to go. Are we about to witness only a few times in history getting past the 30 bracket? We'll use this chart actually to do it because we've got this one set with, which one is it? This one here. Okay, 1 minute chart. We're on the 1 minute. Oh, shorting pressure coming back through exactly the same zone as before in the Asian session. Nasty creatures they are. Look at them. They do not want this thing above 30. Or no, someone doesn't want it above 30 anyway. 29.80 again, rejecting that zone. Wow. GME 320 now. Well done, Siddharth. Pretty good. Peter says, let's face it, fiat doesn't want gold or silver competition, or of course the cryptocurrencies either. GME lifting off, few people saying, yep, 315, very strong. Great to see the buying pressure still coming back in there. Lots of people from just buying it up, just making sure they hold that beast. It did go through pre-market web, but I don't consider that being that crazy because it basically kind of like moved up, went spastic, got through. I want to see it do it during a real trading liquidity time. US trading, European trading, that would be the kind of time that I want to see it. It hit it. We haven't seen a hold over 1 hour. We've got 21 minutes to see whether we can get a 1 hour, even close above these previous 29.55. Very important zone. GME fight seems to be going quite well. 317 there. DFV is holding all of the people up. Everyone's really comfortable with DFV holding that massive position. How about that? That guy is a legend. Turning basically what I can see, he had a call that was worth $10,000, turned it into like 20 million bucks. That's pretty cool. I don't hate on people that do that. That is just, it's awesome. VIX 31.8. AMC $16. That's the stuff of literally, just dreams. BTC is actually really failing here. I want to have a look at XRP. Is XRP still falling? 0.44 now for XRP. So Ripple really copping it still. The pump and dump coin. It really is the pump and dump. Remember, look at your history whenever you're doing these things. 318 now for this one. Let's go over to a few questions that are coming in from the community since we've got 1,500 people here, which is awesome. AMC got dumped after 17. Yeah, but I still think it's holding strong at 16 plus. As long as it holds above 16 and you're seeing this price movement up, I think it's all good. Yeah, there is a little bit of lag on the stream. Yeah, it'll probably be about 20, 30 seconds behind. It's just how YouTube is. $20 for AMC is going to be the important point, though, if it can get up there. Silver back testing those highs again. Really, it's really pressing it. So we've got a lot of price momentum here coming through. Every time it gets this 29.80, though, selling pressure is hitting it. Look at this 1 minute. Goes up. It's getting crushed every time. All the way through today, crushed around this 80 zone. So the real battleground there for silver. 313 still for GME. Pretty good percentages to be made there early by just getting in 10 or 12%, pretty fast. BlackBerry dumping, a few people saying. Yeah, BlackBerry's not looking so good. Just a quick reminder as well, if people haven't been using this, give this guy a coffee or something. He's done a good job. There you go. I'll send it with the community. Basically, you can quickly compare Wall Street's bets or wherever else in Reddit, and you can see trending stocks, sentiment indicators. I think people that do this type of stuff, they deserve some praise for doing this stuff. So, yeah, definitely check it out. Cool little thing for checking your Twitter trending, Google trending stocks. You can see here what's been Google trending this morning, and it's been mostly AMC, GME. Very, very strong there. Always support those kind of guys. It's good to see. 308 now for GME, AG, NOC, BB still dumping a little bit. AMC still holding in the middle. So we'll look at the charts here for AMC. Again, you can see the resistance at 20 is the key level here for the psychology. And one thing about AMC is it likes to gravitate towards the $5 increments. So $10, $5, $15, all of that. I think breaking above, if it holds here for the 1 hour above these previous wicks, also quite a strong kind of bullish sentiment there from the holders. GME is getting bashed around a little bit. SPX still trading above the 37.40. We won't look too much at that really until it gets below that point. Silver pushing 29.90 now. Just tapped 29.93. So we'll just continue to watch that one. I think that's... Oops. Pretty important to check out. No, I didn't want it on that one. I wanted it on this one. So for AMC holders, when we see this 1 hour close in 17 minutes, very important on silver, AMC, GME. GME wants to hold that 300 plus for psychological reasons. Give people confidence that we can hold 300. Silver certainly wants to break. This is a very key point here. Peter says uses ANZ broking and's been using NAB, and NAB's good. Silver just continuing to cop pressure here at 29. Again, I'm really excited to see it go past 30 and close a daily out. Just because every other time it's done it, it's been just a ruthless aggression to the bull side after that. GME, unfortunately, under 300 right now, 296. And AMC also not holding up too well at 1577. So a little bit of people selling that one, unfortunately. Let's have a quick look here at the Webull kind of price changes coming through for the market. What have we got in the high end here? SEA now up the top. Semiconductors doing even better across the board. Tesla still with the 3%. Roku now up. That was actually flat, if I remember rightly, in the futures. It was actually flat there, so that wasn't doing so well. Quickly look at the futures here. Oil, Brent. You can see the power of the silver move here, 11.32%. VIX still kind of moving not so well. Still downward pressure. Look at it, just continuously sells this area because of the strength. GME 302. All right, back over to some questions. Quite a few people asking about what's going on with a few stocks, so we'll check those out. First up, we'll have a quick look at AG. Straight into the resistance, so it makes sense that would sell off regardless of what the price is doing. US 500 being shorted back down to the 3740 right now. This is pretty important. If we get to this zone, hit the 20 moving averages twice, and we sell this area, then we're really just continuing the trend down that we've been seeing. So we'll go through that trend with everyone now. One of the things that I like to see is a peak, which we've had. Obviously a bit of consolidation, so it's been thought about this peak. It's then made a trough. It's made a lower peak and a lower trough. And this is the same that's happened on the real market. If you're not sure when you're doing analysis, try to always do your analysis on the SPX in TradingView or the real market in general. When we do it that way, what we're doing is we're ignoring the futures candles and trading the real volume. And when you trade the real volume, yeah, that's very, very important for us to do, because you're actually trading what Wall Street's doing, what the big traders are doing. So again, 3740 underneath the previous support. Support acts as resistance, and that's why the selling pressure is coming through. So this is perfectly normal to see the selling pressure come through at this point. We'll check out the QQQ in a second as well. Get rid of these pivots, go down to the daily. 317, okay, that's fine. US 100 futures pressuring off the 13,100. So there is selling pressure coming through here into the market. Really want to see that 4-hour close like this. Shooting star pin bar, pretty important to the markets. We'll scroll down here. Siddharth Murli says $5. Tom, fave Savage Garden song. Know you're a fan. Oh, well, isn't it? It's got to be The Moon and Back, doesn't it, Siddharth? Have a chicka cherry collar on me. Very good. Absolutely, man. Yeah, we'll go with To the Moon, because it's just too good for today's kind of sentiment. See the fall off going there with the silver. GME still holding under, just under 300. So the 1 hour close is going to be key again for all of these supposed squeeze positions. BlackBerry still holding down 8.23%. I'll hand it over to the community here. Is anyone wanting to look at anything particular that's open pretty interestingly today? Definitely let me know right now. Alpha Data says, hey, do you think Tesla is a bubble? It's a really loaded question, that one, Alpha. I think that Tesla has a lot of great stuff. It's got it's good business and everything, but I think it's definitely supported by the government in terms of the way it makes profit. I think that is the bubble component. If the government took away, which they're not going to, but if they did, if they took away the way they make credits, I think it would definitely hurt the share price a lot. Dark side, a few people saying, talking about kilograms of physical silver, how much it costs. Gold, yeah, I definitely think we've not looked at gold that much tonight, so we can check that out. 1864 for gold. We still maintain this 1875 resistance is the key here. And there's a few reasons for that. One of the main reasons is probably when you look at the daily and you think about these rejection candles. Rejection shows bearish intentions, but it's like fake news, really. If the market can break out above this zone and close, very significant in terms of market pressure. And when that happens, we should see buying to the 1900 And then if we get past the 1900, 1960, 1950 zones. So gold's on really nice technical right now. It just needs to get past this 1875 from the buy side. You can see the silver failed again at those highs, so it's really struggling around that area. GME 294, we'll go back in here. So Darth's probably already traded it in and out, knowing him. But we are pressuring down underneath the 300. We need this next 9 minutes to push us back up for sentiment reasons. Oscar says Tesla has awesome fundamentals. Yeah, it has heaps of cool stuff and a lot of things that can make them a lot of money in the future. But again, it is a little bit supported by the government in terms of credits. Google Lightning Bolt above 1830. Yeah, we can look at Alphabet. We'll check that out. So we're 9 minutes away from probably the most important close here for the day, and definitely something we're going to look at together for all of these stocks and everything here. 37.32 now for the SPX as well. So the US 500 has truly rejected. Where was our US 500? It's truly rejecting off that 20 exponential moving average on the 4 hour and doing a standard role reversal kind of movement. So this could trigger a whole bunch more selling. And that actually should put pressure on things like gold and silver. Generally, they move down and dollar index moves up. And you can see right now, dollar index is making that move. 90.86. So it's starting to really creep up to that 91 zone. If the dollar gets above 91, it's going to really start saying, okay, hey, we're now in a bit of a bull phase for the dollar. And I'll explain to you why that's going to happen. We've got basically an inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. A lot of consolidation through this point. That's where the expectation is. Of course, it will struggle around the 92 zone. But look how strong this resistance is. Resistance, resistance, resistance. If it breaks above here, incredibly significant. And you look through really any other main currency pair, you look through US dollar Swiss or anything like that, check this out. Inverse head and shoulders even more clear on US dollar Swiss. And look at the breakout that happened today. A precursor of other things. Now if we get a retest down here, resistances become support. That's actually a very nice breakout. Did that happen during the stream? No, it happened just before. I must have missed it. Very nice breakout down in the US dollar Swiss. I like that. Nice. 7 minutes now coming in. We'll go back over to some of the comments. AMC tanking, a few people are saying. Yeah, under 15 is not great. GME also 272. That's unfortunate. Hopefully they can get that back up there. It can happen at any time. Where's the buying pressure going to come in? Probably around the psychological points for GME. So if it continues to tank here, it may go down to 250. Possibly buying pressure comes back in. There'll probably be some limit orders around the 250. Well, we're going to get there pretty soon, it seems. 269. AMC 15 still. Silver completely getting owned. 29.40 after that run in the morning. $266 now. Wow. Market really crashing off. Yes. SPX 37.26. So all off that zone. First hour of trade. Remember, we want to see it sustain those levels. Close for today being bearish. We are going to most likely get to those weekly 20 moving averages. Well, we pretty much will. It's going to become one of those things that's very likely. I'm kind of rooting for a correction. I think the market needs it really badly. VIX heading up? Yes, it will be. So volatility index, VIX should be heading up quite a lot. That's that's textbook, isn't it, that one? Left head, right shoulder, textbook on that one. VIX getting back up there, 33.6 on the volatility index. We're going towards the 40 zone where the resistance is. Get above that, then we're in for some real pain in the market. Flash crash 2.0 if we get above 40 again. Been some time since we went there. We'll continue to monitor that one. Buying pressure coming back in. 4 minutes away from the closes that are all important here. AMC really needs to, well, it'd be preferable it holds above 16. Here's a question for you as a community. So since this whole GME thing, and I think a lot of people's eyes have been open to the manipulation that's going on in the markets, are you going to hold more money or less money in cryptocurrencies? More or less is the question. Has it made you think about, or cryptocurrencies or commodities? Both are fair. So you're going to hold more or less of your overall net worth in those things. I'd be very interested to see what the opinion is of everyone out there. Miles Way Jackson, your thoughts on dodgy coin? Tom, pump dumps. Meme coin equals pump dumps. Very similar to XRP, though it's not a meme XRP. It's just, it tends to pump dump. Quite a lot of people coming in with more. Less, Darkside says. Okay. None, says Dr. Durbet. Oh, here we go. 3 minutes away from the 1 hour. Tesla now trading at 803. Market trading still around that 30. So it's gone up a little bit, 37.34. Webcitic says hold more silver. Yeah, most people saying more bullion, more physical, more commodities. I've been basically going a little bit of iron ore as well. I've been buying a decent amount of iron ore last year. I think I mentioned that back in May last year that I was moving into that. Stocks, I felt pretty comfortable with those ones. I think they're really underpriced. Like were back then anyway. Platinum, good one. Brett, nice. We talked about platinum as a chart before. It's pretty amazing stuff. So here's the 250 incoming for GME. Got 255 handle, 158. You know, this is pretty much exactly, you know, it looks interesting as it's all timed together. The stock market starts to tank only a little bit. It's obviously fell a lot more than that. At the same time as silver gets destroyed, have you noticed that GME, AMC, AG, after all that hype, all of a sudden everything's falling across the board of all these squeeze stocks? Interesting. 250 acting as some buying pressure here, which is good. 2 minutes before the close now, or actually only 1 minute before the close. Dollar index still pushing up there at 90.86. Quickly look at the percentage changes. Obviously, worst is going to be GameStop. Moderna also down a lot, 6.5% now. DocuSign, 2.23. Quite a lot of the ones that have been doing it. Positives, this one's now up 8%. That was only up about 3 or 5 before, I think. So that's pretty strong moves. And a lot of the early gains are now taken off. So it looks like we're going to have a bit of a sad kind of first 1 hour close here for quite a few things. 20 moving average, GME still holding barely for the close, it looks like. I've already got some trades in, Danny. I need to actually just close a few positions though. I'll do that a little bit later. All right, so we've got the closes coming through here. 270 coming through. And looks like silver really got struggled down. 29.12. AMC under 15. Where'd the actual candle close? Right around. Oh, it's not going to close the first hour yet, sorry. But yeah, it's right around that 15. That's a bad candle. But again, shows the power of if the pressure comes through and hits above, you know it's going to be electric. Because this is one of those candles where it's bearish, it's a shooting star, it's a bad candle on the 1 hour. But again, if the pressure comes through, all these wicks get taken out, all the stops that are there get taken out, bang, you see a massive squeeze level. All right, guys. Well, look, it's 2 o'clock in the morning for me. I do need to be up early in the morning for the market open in Australia. So I will say probably this has been one of the best streams. Thank you so much for coming out. Thanks to everyone that subscribed, donated, everything like that. Is there a donation I missed? Siddharth Mooley, $5, another 4-figure morning. Awesome work, Siddharth. That's great to hear. You've done well. Good trading there, sir. And thanks so much for everyone that's come out. All I can say is we'll be doing Monday live stream next week. Obviously, we'll continue to do this throughout the year. We've got a lot of improvements to everyone that's in the Stonk Squad, that's joined the community. Enjoy the new emotes. Enjoy all that stuff. Hopefully you do. And we'll be making a new video. Should have another one out tomorrow in the morning around just after the Australian market opens. So we'll see how all this stuff plays out, and I'll be covering it all tomorrow. Thanks, guys. And good night and good trading. Keep the diamond hands going. We've got 282, so people are buying back up. That's it. Bye for now.